Matches, no? Matches and Kampur. Karan. அப்படியா? அது அலர்ட் பண்ணியாச்சு இல்லையா? ஸ்மோக் டிடெக்டர் இல்லை, ரொம்பலாம் வராது. சென்சிட்டிவிட்டி எனக்கு தெரியாது. அதுதான். ஓகே ஓகே. என்ன This is not Homam. Yeah, this is Dhuni. This tradition is totally different. Homam tradition is different. Dhuni is different. This is following the Nath Sampradaya. It starts from the Dattatreya. From the Dattatreya traditions, it is the Dhuni is there. Okay, Dhuni represents the Guru. Actually, it is the Guru Sampradaya where the Dhuni represents the Brahmajnana. So it is the Satsang is all about that, the Brahmajnana, and about the Guru. So this represents that. That's all. Yes. The very name came from this Dhun. You can hear the Dhun, right? So that's how it came the name, the Dhuni. Our traditions always follow the Guru Vandanam. So let me start from the Guru one. Okay. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So this is Satsang. We don't have any other formalities here. No, it's just going to be an interaction. The question and answers kind of thing, right? Okay, so when I said the Guru Vandanam, anyone know the meaning of this? Guru Vandanam? What I said now? Guru Vishnu, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Why we say this Guru Vandanam?
Treating all of them as Gurus.
Sorry?
Treating all Brahma, Vishnu, everybody as
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about the Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar, right? So Guru represents all this gods actually. Because through Guru only we know the God. Getting my point? Our tradition is all about Guru. See, through our mom we came to know about our father, something like that. Through that we came to know about the world. The same way, through Guru only we came to know about God. Okay, we know about God, we learned about God, everything okay. But the one-to-one interaction with God will happen only through Guru. Getting my point? So Guru is the first one. The importance that we have to give is to Guru. Then only to the God. That is our tradition. Because it is the Guru, through Guru we will come to know about the God. Because God is everywhere. God is there all the time. Everything is okay, fine. But how we know the God? Do we have any interaction with the God? No, right? I mean, much of us, I'm not saying everyone, much of us, we know God is there. Okay? Everyone have their own God. That is a different thing. I'm talking about one God. If there is one God, it's there. Right? And that one God, do we have any interaction with? We believe there is a God. We don't have any direct experience. And when we say there is a God, the God is there because that we see the creation in front of us. We see everywhere. We have this galaxy, we have the world, everything is there. The fundamental question is, how all this thing came into existence. Right? How it came into our existence. That's the question. So, there is an intelligence. There is a super intelligence, that creates or whatever. It is there because the creation is the proof of that. Okay? So, that way we know. But how we are interacting with the God? If God as the creator, do we have any interaction?
No.
Sorry? Okay. Okay. So, the God is a thing that we know that it exists, but we have no interaction with it. 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 But we don't have any personal experience like this. We are not conversing with the God like this, right? But we know God is there. But it is the Guru who introduces to us the God. And through Guru, we will experience God. Otherwise, God is there. In our tradition, we call Guru, God as a Sakshi Bhut. It is a witness. God is a witness. Sakshi Bhut. In Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna says that I am a Sakshi Bhut. When Sudama asked Sri Krishna that, why you didn't stop the war? Why you didn't stop Yudhishthira to roll the dice? Right? You would have stopped there itself. So Krishna says, that time, Yudhishthira didn't think about me. I'm just a Sakshi Bhut. I'm a witness. So God is a witness. God is there. I always used to say that God watches everything, but never do anything. All right? See, we know there is, I always give this example, maybe a wrong example, but this is the right way to understand the witness of God. Okay? The Kumbakonam fire accident. Right? The fire accident happened in the Kumbakonam school. A lot of young souls died, more than hundreds. So what was God doing that time? Right? Many would have prayed, to save that kids, but it didn't happen. So we have to ask our conscience what God was doing that time when that Kumbakonam thing was happening. God didn't, no, let it be Allah, let it be Jesus, or let it be Maheshwar. No God came to any rescue to, save the kids. It's 100%. There are people who used to say, no, the karma is such that those who went through certain karma, they all gathered there as kids. That's why they went through that suffering. No, that is not. We are trying to, resonate that, but it is not like that. When such a thing was happening, whatever it was young people who are, burning. So God didn't come to rescue. So that is what the nature of God. Because if you ask your conscience, we also went through many good and bad. Do we have any interaction with the God? No. Right? We know it is there. Some intelligence is there. It created a brilliant thing. Our body itself is a brilliant design. The universe, galaxy, everything is there. But nothing is, coming to us when we are going through the bad things. Nothing is happening. So it is the Guru coming between the Creator, the God, and between us. Because the Guru knows how the God thing works. Getting my point? The Guru only knows how the God works. Because of certain sadhana they are into, they know how the God works. And because of the Guru, we know how the God thing works. And because of that, we will also realize and we will get the experience of God. And then we will be into certain spiritual stature. Okay? So that is why our tradition is giving importance to Guru. Guru is first. That is why, we all have to start Guru Vandanam. If you are not doing the, Ganapati also. So Guru Vandanam is very, very important because that is why in Guru Vandanam, it is said Guru is Sakshat Parabrahm. That is why they are defining with Guru as Brahma, Guru as Vishnu, Guru as Maheshwar, and ended with Guru is Sakshat Parabrahm. See, all these are Parabrahm, right? Maheshwar, Brahma, or Vishnu. But why there is a classification as Guru, Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, and then the Vandanam says that Guru is Sakshat Parabrahm. It stays as the fourth one. Any idea why such a Guru Vandanam? See, the Guru Vandanam starts like this. Guru as Brahma, Guru as Vishnu, Guru as Maheshwar. And then it says Guru Sakshat Parabrahm. What is the need of that? They can start by saying,
Even above.
Sorry?
Even above.
Yeah.
All three.
Yeah, because Parabrahm is the ultimate being, intelligence. These are the three metaphors that used to define different conscious levels of people. Brahma is one conscious level, Vishnu is one conscious level, and Maheshwar is another conscious level. One should go through all this conscious level, then only they can attain the ultimate consciousness called the Sakshat Parabrahma. So that is also Guru. And when we, interact with the Guru, when we understand Guru, then we can understand and experience the Sakshat Parabrahma. Getting my point? So this is how it is made. That is why our tradition is totally built upon Guru philosophy. Guru is very, very important because Guru is the one who can guide us on the material life as well as the spiritual life. And that's what Shirdi Sai Baba did. Sitting in that dilapidated mosque called the Dwarakamai, he was guiding people. He was guiding people into their material life as well as the spiritual life. Those who are coming and seeking for spiritual thing, he guided them on the spiritual aspects also. Also, people will be coming and asking for healing. My husband is suffering, my wife is suffering, my dad is suffering, all that. They will come with that suffering, he will heal them. But at the same time, the actual healing is on the soul. The Atma needs the healing. That is the ultimate Swadharma of a Guru. Everyone will have a Swadharma. A husband will have a Swadharma to take care of his family. A wife will have a Swadharma of taking care of her family, A student should have a Swadharma of learning. Right? So the same way, the Swadharma of a Guru is to make a person to realize the Parabrahma. That is the ultimate teaching, ultimate, the boon that a Guru can, give to his Shishya. So, Guru tradition is very, very, very important. And that's why we start with the Guru Vandana. Okay? And our Shirdi Sai, as our Guru, we call him as a Satguru. Going forward, I will explain what is the meaning of Guru and Satguru. Because he is Satguru. We have Guru. Guru means, that the one who removes the darkness. Darkness is Anyana. There is two things called Jnana and Anyana. Here the Jnana means to know the God. That is the Jnana. Wisdom, the ultimate wisdom. Because why we should know the God? We have enough things to do, right? Where is the God? Where is the role of God? There is no role of God, right? We born, we die. In between we live a life. Is there any role of God? No. Because we are not interacting with God, we are not doing anything. God is there and we are there, we are just existing. Right? But when we born in this physical entity, one day we will go. One day we will go for sure. That going should be in a graceful way. Got it? Anyway, that's going to happen. People will say, Chiranjeevi, that this, okay, but we have seen many people who came, they'll go. That should be in a graceful way. Have you heard of Bhairavi Yatra? It is in the Garuda Puran. Anyone heard of that Bhairavi Yatna? See, Bhairavi Yatna is the last moment, the last 30 seconds or 60 seconds that someone will go through a certain level of memory.
Your life comes in front of you. You have shared a story in that.
Yes.
Your life comes in front of you. You live your life.
Everything will be,
Yeah.
we will go through all that from the day we born.
Yeah. Prayer
Sorry? Yeah. Yes. See, why that is important? It will happen to everyone. Because there is no one who passed away to convey this to us. Right? It's the last experience that we will go through. That is, when a person is passing away, the last 60 seconds will be very intensively, their memory will be recalled from the day they born till that last moment. Everyone will stand in front of them. That's why, if you watch certain people, they are passing away, they will say, my dad is there, my uncle is there. such a person is there, my friend is there, my neighbor is there, like that. Or they have intense emotions with them, they will see them. But actually, no one is there. It is their memory getting triggered. So they will see like, they are actually there. It will be that real. In our Purana, it is called the Bhairava Yatma. It happens. Okay? In neuroscience, there is a term for this. It is called terminal velocity, kind of thing. Hope you know about that, right? See, actually, this is a typical neuroscience fact thing. When a person is passing away, this thing happens, right? But when, every day we are passing away. When we go to bed in the night, we go into sleep. That is also a small version of that. A small version of death, actually. Because when we are going to sleep, we are getting into dream, then we are falling into the deep sleep. That is almost like a death. We don't know what is happening to us. See, you should not think that why I'm talking about all this, because these are the information that I am trying to convey, because we have to understand why it is needed for us to know the Guru, to attain certain spiritual aspects. So that at least, the last thing will be graceful for us, at least. That is why I'm talking about all this. So coming back to the Bhairava Yatna, according to the neuroscience, when a person is passing away, okay, the brain will work in such a way that it will recall many things. Okay, the last 40, 50 seconds or 60 seconds, it will happen. Okay, why it happens? Because when we go to sleep every day, we will get into the sleep cycle. The sleep cycle is like this, that we will enter into a lucid dream, then we will enter into a proper dream, rapid eye movement, then we will enter into deep sleep, then again we will come back to the REM. Then this cycle goes on until we wake up. Right. So the dream, we have a lot of interpretations and definitions for dream, but from the neuroscience aspect, the dream is nothing but it's a memory consolidation that happens during when we are sleeping. It's a brain that is doing the memory consolidation. Memory consolidation is nothing but making the short-term memory into a long-term memory. So whatever is needed for our survival, because the brain will differentiate, categorize everything, end of the day, it will categorize all that and make the short-term memory into long-term memory. Because every day we are gathering a lot of information. So when we are gathering a lot of information, basically we have a problem of energy and space, because all the information cannot be stored. If we are carrying a lot of information, we will have a space problem here in our brain, because it has to construct the neural network. So the brain should undergo a process called the memory consolidation, where whatever is needed, that will be taken into a long-term memory, others will be faded away. That is why, small instance we cannot recall. From the day we born, we don't have, that much of precise memory, right? A photographic memory we don't have because of this process. It will carry only, the data memory that is needed for our survival, or which is very important. If we carry any intense emotions, intense experience, that will turn into a long-term memory. See, that may be a good thing or, a bitter thing. But if that is intensive, very emotional, that will become our long-term memory because of this memory consolidation. Why this happened during the night time? Because, see, our elders have a habit. Nowadays, we don't have that, but our elders have a habit that end of the day, they will take a scribbling pad and they will write the accounts of the day. We bought milk, we bought vegetables, everything. We do that end of the day. Why we are doing the end of the day? Because no other activities after that. We are not going to spend anything. From morning till the late evening, we'll be having something to spend. Buying vegetables, milk, this. So everything they will write down. So end of the day, they will write down, because nothing going to happen after that. Okay. The same way, when our brain activity, coming to a resting position, when we are lying down, so the brain thinks, okay, done, the guy going to sleep. Now we have to consolidate the memory, because no new memory going to come. That is how the memory consolidation happens. And that comes as the result of the memory consolidation is the dream. We have a lot of definition for dream, but this is the neuroscience view. See why this is important? Because at the end, when we go for the bigger sleep, where we will get this again. Because the same, the brain will go into the rest. The brain doesn't differentiate sleep and death. The brain knows only activity, no activity. Right. So during the end of that, the same thing will happen in a very, very intense way because it's the last time. Much of the activities are done. From the Ayurvedic view, we have the Dasavayus. All that Dasavayus will go one by one from the body. The last one to go out from our body is the Dhananjaya. When the Dhananjaya goes out of our body, the body will start decomposing. But the ultimate is Pranavayu. The Pranavayu works in different ways in our body, like Samana, Udhana, Vyana. During our Aarti, Baba's Aarti, we have this song. In the Aarti, there is we have the Udhana, Vyana, all that. And that is getting samarpan surrendered to the Baba. I will come to that later. I will explain why we have that. But now, this happens in our body, and all this consolidation happens. And when someone is going at the end, all these vayus will happen in a very intense way, so that the recalling of the memory will be very clear. It is so clear that whatever the good and bad we did will be played in the last 60 seconds, good and bad. And that will be the highest suffering of a human being. Because that time we will be thinking, no, I would have done better. Right? We will be in a repenting thing, right? Okay. When this happens, the intense emotion happens. Okay. Then the person will die. And that is why? Because when this emotion, is very intense. Okay. When the person dies, the energy that has been created at the last moment will be there, though the physical entity gone. Hope we know the physics, right? Nothing will get tested at that, just like that. It will be there for a while. And slowly the residue will take its own time to disappear. So the intense memory that has been created will be in the form of that. That will be, according to the spirituality, that will be there in the Chittakash. The intensity of the memory that we created at the last moment. That will be in the Chittakash. When someone is, newly born, this will get transported to them. That we call it as Punarjanma. So whatever we carry at the last moment, when it is replayed at the last moment, that is the point, transition point of one become the newborn.
So that newborn can be anybody.
Sorry?
Newborn can be anybody.
Yeah, anybody. See, at the last moment, we are creating a very intense thoughts, intense memory. That becomes a very bright energy that will be there, though the person dies. So this will be there in the ether, and it will find the right place, it will born again.
What is the timeline?
Timeline is differs. It needs, mostly it will be 10 days. Mostly within 10 days. That's why we have the 10 days Kriya.
Okay.
Mostly it is 10 days. See, for example, if a person dies out of accident.
Just out of curiosity, the ether comes out and it is supposed to be unveiled to somebody. I see him as my guru. I see him as my guru. Okay? Will the guru continue? Or will the guru change?
You repeat the question, please. Yeah, just talk, Mike.
Yeah, okay. So, my guru is Sai Baba. Whatever happens, till the day I die, he is my guru. When the ether comes out, then I am waiting for the next, whatever passage that is. Will the same guru continue?
Yeah, high possibility, because you are carrying the same emotions, right?
Okay.
See, let me explain. when a person carries a emotion.
So somewhere down the line, before I met him, he was already there with me.
Yes. See, for example, this is what we call as Rinanabandh. This is what Rinanabandh is. Got it? So, where at the last moment, very intense emotions are created. Na? In that, we will have Sai Baba also.
Correct.
Am I right? Because we are carrying an intense emotion towards our Guru. Let it not, be any Guru, not just Sai Baba. Any Guru.
Correct.
When we carry because Guru is our emotions, right? We
Correct.
carry a very intense emotion towards our Guru.
Absolutely.
And at the last 60 minutes, 60 seconds, during the Bhairava Yatna, we will have that emotion towards our Guru also.
Correct.
So that is getting transported in the Chittakash. The body goes,
Okay.
the emotions are there in the form of the thoughts.
Correct.
Okay? Depends on the person's age. Okay? It will take some time, duration, and it will find the most opt situation, family, body, everything, according, it will get transported there. And that we call it as a Punarjanma, and that is what we carry as a Runanaban. That is why we have the natural inclination towards people and Guru. So our Pushpaji was talking about, I don't know why Baba is there. So our family tradition is to follow Sri Guru Raghavendra,
Correct.
but she says that my inclination is towards Shirdi Sai.
Correct. We
Because
discussed
of this.
about this yesterday also.
Somewhere down the line in her past, she carries this emotion about Shirdi Sai
Correct.
that has been passed on. And that passing on is called Rinanabandh. It is not just the Guru, with any relationship.
Agreed.
This is called the Rinanabandh. And if we are meeting here because of certain Rinanabandh, that's a different thing. I will talk about that later. Okay, so why I am saying this is very, very important. The last 60 seconds, and that is why, because that is what going to make it in the other one, the next. Okay, so that is why in our tradition, when a person is passing away, we will sit next to them and we will read the Puranas, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata at the last moment to, for them to get at least that. So at the last moment, the other things will be wiped away, only this will be there. So they will read only Bhagavatam or whatever. In Islam, also they have the practice of reading Quran when someone is passing away. Someone will, friends or relatives, they will sit next to them and they will read the scriptures because at least they will have that during the last time. That is why we have this tradition of reading this. When someone is passing away, we have to sit next to them, play songs or good songs, spiritual things, so that they will carry this Rinanaban like that. Got it? Because if we are carrying, see, for example, I'll give you one example. If there is one person who carries a lot of emotion towards money, and with that he dies, and during that process of death, when the Bhairava Yatna, the money will play a major role. Because much of his emotion towards that. Getting my point? Much of his emotions towards that, so that he will be like, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't get that money. I didn't achieve number one. I want to be number one in Bangalore. Because I know one guy, he wanted to be number one in Bangalore. And he was like 62. And one day suddenly he passed away. He's a multimillionaire. He was having some shopping malls that is here in Bangalore. One night he passed away. Then next day he was no more. Okay, why I'm saying this? Because during his last time, that 60 seconds, he would have went through that. He didn't achieve that number one. Maybe. Now what is there? That intense thoughts will be there in the Chittakash. When this guy wants, not that guy, this data that is being sent in the Chittakash, in the ether, will find a suitable family, a suitable body, where the family condition is such that they will be giving a lot of value to the money, if at all, that this will go and get downloaded.
It seems like when the ether, the Atma have a, generally we are telling we can't supposed to choose our path, but seems
See, I'm not
that
talking about Atma. Atma is getting birth. I'm talking about the samskaras. Atma is different, actually. The samskaras are different. Okay.
Samskara is a thought.
Samskara is nothing but data.
Data.
Whatever we see, here is data. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Getting my point? Whatever you see, we, whatever the house or this, whatever, is a data. Not Atma.
Yeah.
What is in that is the Atma. It is the sublime thing which is there. Got it? Like a fragrance in a flower. The flower is the data. The fragrance is like, it's also a data, but I'm just giving an example. The Atma is like that. Anma. Or the Jivatma. There is only two things, Jivatma and Paramatma. Again, I will explain that later. But as of now, let me explain this, that Anma is everywhere. It will born. That is a different story. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the samskaras that is getting loaded. So when a newborn is coming up in the mother's womb, okay, so this samskaras will find suitable and getting downloaded there. So that new personality is getting started. So for example, now I was talking about that guy who passed away. He passed away in 2023. Okay. He left out the intense thought about money, being number one in Bangalore. Now that is passed on to someone now some other character is born with that intensity, and that character, a boy or a girl, will come out with that intensity that she or he want to be number one in Bangalore or somewhere. And they will do all the nonsense to become number one. That is where the suffering starts. Right? So it is not just number one. I'm talking about anything. When, see, in the recent podcast, which I had a podcast, I was talking about, because the very question of that podcast is this, that, being a Sai Seva, how to handle the sufferings. So I said there are two views on that. One is the sufferings that is coming out of the basic survival. If I am not getting food, if I want to eat 2 times or 3 times of food, if I'm not getting food, that is a survival-based problem, suffering. If I'm not getting a shelter and I'm suffering out of the winter and sun, that is another survival issue. So that is one suffering. The other suffering is, I don't have the BMW. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have a luxury villa like that. That is not survival. That is non-survival suffering. Because you are suffering out of, if you are not getting that, if you get also, again, you will go to the next one. The sufferings will continue. So we have to differentiate survival and non-survival sufferings. Okay, so why I am saying all this? Because this is where we will be losing our peace. When we don't differentiate this, we'll be losing our peace. Because we know the value of peace. Every human being will know the value of peace. Right? And we also know what we need is, we need food, air, water. Then we may need some shelters. This is actually what needed, right? But human invented certain things called growth, development. We started inventing many things. Now we developed a lot of sufferings. Am I right? If you take any beings other than human beings, they are surviving without all this. Because we are thinking they didn't evolve. They don't have a growth. They don't have any development. They are, nakedly they are flying. Birds, okay. The dogs are naked. They just need some food. That's all. Food, water, sleep, air. We also need that. Basically, that's what we needed. But we invented many things. We need dress, we need place, everything. And we need food. Okay, food is a survival thing. But what we invented out of food, we want sambar rice, we want bisbelabat. Someone will need the biryani, that is beyond the survival. There are many people, they suffer because they then get the tasty food. It is there. One prayer request was there. One sister sent us prayer request that, she, during lunchtime, she sent that prayer request saying that, Baba, my husband going to come for lunch. Please, everything should be proper. If little bit salt, goes imbalance, I'm dead. So Baba, please take care of this. what kind of suffering she is going through, and what kind of suffering that guy is also going through. Right? So these are non-survival based sufferings that many people are going through. This is what happening, right? In the name of growth, development, everything, we are running behind all this, and we are end up in losing the peace or whatever. See, it is not necessarily we'll be losing peace. It depends on person to person, but majority we are losing because we don't know how to differentiate the survival sufferings and non-survival sufferings. We have to work towards the survival sufferings. That's all. We have to get some food. We have to get some shelter. That's all. We need some good clothing. Okay, fine. But we develop a lot of taboos around clothing. We develop a lot of taboo around food. We develop a lot of taboo around lifestyle. And that is where the suffering starts. And that is why a lot of frictions. Now Iran is getting bombarded and Iran is getting, throwing bomb in Dubai. I'm talking about the current affairs.
Okay, unrelated place.
If you look at that carefully, it is because of the non-survival suffering. Otherwise, there is no need for all this, right? That is what, all this friction starts because of this. So the Guru is there to teach us, to make us understand, to realize there is a difference between the survival and non-survival. That is why if you carefully watch the Gurus, like our Shirdi Sai, they exist with the bare minimum requirements. Only 2 kafanis, and he will go for alms. That too he will share. No much, is needed for them. Whatever, place, they will live there. That is why we call them sannyasis or fakir. In Sufism, they are called fakirs. It is equivalent to our sannyas. In Hindu tradition, it is called yogi or sannyasi. In Sufism, it is called fakir. Word is different, meaning is same. Fakir or yogi or sannyasi, the meaning is this, that they are, beyond survival things. See, I was talking about survival suffering and non-survival suffering. They are beyond these two. Even they won't suffer of survival things also. If they won't get food, they won't bother. Because slowly they are going towards that. If someone is becoming a yogi, slowly their food will come down. Their sleep will come down. That is how they are. Whatever they sleep now, that will be a quality sleep. If they sleep for 4 hours, in that they will get at least, because we needed some 30-40 minutes of quality sleep, that the deep sleep, where the hormones will reset, everything will get fixed. Now, that is what we needed. But for the cycle to happen, we need just 7 hours. Then only we will get into the deep sleep. Body will slowly prepare us to get into the deep sleep to repair our body. But if we know the technology to get into the deep sleep straight, without any negative side effects, then we can sleep. That is called Yoga Nidra. See, the ultimate objective of Yoga Nidra is to get into Samadhi. But the positive side effect of doing Yoga Nidra, that we will get us quality sleep. If we sleep 3-4 hours also, we'll get a quality sleep because we know we will manipulate and we'll get into the deep sleep straight. And that is why it is called Yoga Nidra. Some of the day I can teach that. It's a very, very beautiful thing, Yoga Nidra, because the positive materialistic side effects of doing Yoga Nidra is BP will come under control. The first thing, low or high, whatever, it will be reset to normal. All the stress, whatever, that will reset. And you will get a quality sleep. Everything will be taken care of. Even diabetes will also come under control if you do Yoga Nidra. I'm not saying cure. It will control. Okay. That much powerful, Yoga Nidra. Okay. But the ultimate objective of Yoga Nidra is to attain Samadhi. But the side effect is body will get ill. So basically, that's what again I'm saying, that survival and non-survival for us, for the Grahasthas, we should know the sufferings, to differentiate the sufferings, survival and non-survival. And that is where we have the Guru to guide us. If we follow a right Guru, getting my point, I'm using the word right Guru, then we are rescued. Why I'm saying a right Guru? A guru who knows this suffering and non-suffering, okay, and because they will be living such a life, then only they can guide us. If you take Shirdi Sai Baba, he lived such a life. During 1910, 1911, during his time, his dakshina was around 500 rupees per day. How is he, man? Now?
He's fine. He got a little bit hurt.
Oh.
And he fell and got hurt. That's all. He's fine.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
So we are talking about Shirdi Sai. Okay. So our guru, what no?
Nothing.
Fine, okay. So Shirdi Sai was the best example where he set the examples, because he was living in a dilapidated mosque, Dwarakamai, where he was living only with 2 kafnis, and he was going for alms. With the bare minimum things he was there living, right? And in 1910 and 1911, during that time, he was getting a dakshina of rupees 500 per day. 1910, 500 per day.
So nowadays, the cost of that would be equivalent to?
Yeah, it is like somewhere around 22 lakhs, because
22 lakhs.
that time a gram of gold was 1.5 rupees. In 1910, 1911, it was 1.5 rupees. If we calculate that, it will be equivalent to 22 lakhs now. So he was getting 22 lakhs per day, but he was, sleeping on the floor with the sacks spread on that, and he was going for alms, and that also he will share with others and other beings, and nothing, the maximum spending from that dakshina is he will be buying oil, he will be buying the woods or whatever, and the tobacco for the chilla. Max. Other money he will give it to people the same day. He won't carry any money. When the sun is setting, he will distribute all the money to the people there. He won't carry any money next day. That is how he lived. Why I am saying this? Because I was explaining them that Guru is the one who can guide us both spiritual life and the material life, where we can live in certain harmony. That is why we call them as Guru. And our Sai is the best example as a Guru, because he lived in such a way to show us the example, because his life itself is a teaching. Forget his teaching. I will come to that later. His life itself is a teaching. Getting my point? See, we don't need to, read anything to, complicate ourselves. If we just see his life, the way he lived, that itself is teaching. Because he was living in such a condition, and he lived such a life. What? See, when he was a small boy, we all know that he was living under the neem tree. See, they say that he was, when he was 16 years old, he was under the neem tree, right? According to my research, what I did, the research, he was like 19 years old, because he met his guru when he was 8 years old, and he spent 12 years with his guru. That means he is 20. He spent 12 years with his guru under the neem tree. There is a big cellar basement is there, where he practiced many things, all this yoga sadhana, all these things with his guru. And when his guru took samadhi, when he was around 19 and 20, then he started appearing under the neem tree. That doesn't mean he was, all the 12 years he was under the basement. No, I'm not saying that. Much of his time he was spending with his guru under that basement, and they were roaming all around. I'm talking about our Parama Guru. Our Shirdi Sai's Guru. Venkusa and Shirdi Sai Baba. They were roaming all the places. They went to Aurangabad, all these places. But when his guru took samadhi, Baba was all alone, sitting under the neem tree. And he was living there for 3 years under the neem tree. And he was just 19, 20 years old. Right? Just think, because we made him as avatar. Of course he is. But he born as human being. That we should not forget. Just like us, he born like us. He had his own sufferings. When he was living under that neem tree for 3 years, there was no shelter, nothing. He was sleeping under the neem tree in the night. And we know about Shirdi's winter. How it will be, it is like a needle. right? That much cold there, and summer is equivalent. Summer will be very high. I'm living in Shirdi, so I know how the summer, I know how the winter and summers will be. Okay, and living under the neem tree is a big challenge, and no food. That time he didn't go for alms, so he was eating the neem leaves. Just 19 years, no relatives, no friends, no one was there. Just a young fellow sitting under the neem tree, going through all these sufferings with one vairagya on the spiritual side. Whatever the Guru taught, he was holding to that. And why I'm saying that? Because with that vairagya, he became a guru to guide us. He went into the forest, he learned about the herbs, he came back and he healed people. When he became the Sakshat Parabrahm, then he started giving Udi because he was taking control of the Panchabhuta. Once he took the control of Panchabhuta, then he started giving Udi. That is different. But before that, he was healing people with the herbs. See, he became Sakshat Parabrahma after 1885. The 3-day Samadhi on Malsabdi's lap, that was the achievement of Baba has become the Parabrahma. Because there is a lot of saying that, Baba did that 3-day Samadhi because he was suffering from asthma. Because he was in asthma, he wanted to cure himself, so he went on 3-day Samadhi. That's what people say. When he was already rescuing people, and why such a person need a Samadhi, to go into Samadhi to heal asthma, when he was giving herbs to cure? So these are the fabricated story. Actually, he went into Samadhi because he was like us.
That is what written in Satcharitra also.
Yeah.
But the real fact is not mentioned anywhere.
Yeah. See, I'll see. Okay, you brought it in a very good way. See, that is why I always used to say this. We know about the lizard story.
Lizards, yeah. Two lizards.
Two lizard sisters. Let me explain. Maybe many of the people won't know that. Our people know that because I always used to say that to understand our Guru, to understand the Satcharitra. Because there are many hidden gems in Satcharitra. So let me explain about the lizard story. One day this happened that when in Dwarakamai, a devotee is sitting in front of Baba, a lizard was making a sound, and the devotee asked Baba, why that lizard is chippering, why that's making the sound. Is that a good omen or a bad omen? Is a good sagun or bad sagun? That's what he asked. In Marathi version, we can understand this. In Marathi version, Baba starts saying like this, that you should not say like that. It is happy because her sister is going to come from Aurangabad. That's what Baba says. Okay. And okay, fine. And little while, a guy came from Aurangabad on his horse thing, and he wanted to feed his horse. So he took that, bag, and he was shaking that. From that, a lizard jumped and came and entered into Dwarakamai, and both met. They were rolling, they were happy. So Baba at that time said, note on that like that. So here, that is a thing. Baba we know as a Sakshat Parabrahm. He is a Sarvavyapi, and that's how he can know that the lizard sister is going to come. How the lizard will know that? Right?
How will the lizard know his sister?
That is not explained in Satcharitra, right? This is the question we have to ask. Because we know Baba is a Sarvavyapi, he knows such a thing going to happen. But how come the lizard knows that much before? Why the lizard was happy? Actually, Baba was making a mocking there. A spiritual mocking, I can say that way. Because he wants us to think. Because lizard cannot think, a lizard cannot be a Sarvavyapi. It's very obvious. So, Baba, like such a personality, why he says that, that lizard is happy? So, that is not possible. He is saying that because he is asking us to think. Getting my point? Because lizard cannot be a Sarvavyapi. But Baba is saying that because he is a Sadguru. He is a Sakshat Parabrahm sitting there. He knows everything, and there is a proof that he is a Sarvavyapi because the thing happened. Because he said the lizard going to come from Aurangabad, and it happened. That way, that is the proof that he is a Sarvavyapi, and the Sarvavyapi says that the lizard knows. That means lizard cannot know that, right? That is not possible. The point here is Baba asking us to think. Because it is the way of teaching by the gurus in the parables, actually. We miss this What, right? The lizard. Much of us missed it. When I started asking this, many, started wondering, yeah, how a lizard can,
Know that its sister is going to come today
Yeah.
and be happy.
right?
That
So-
sister lives in Aurangabad.
Huh.
How does she come from there?
Yeah. So here the teaching is very simple that when the Sadguru is there, we should know what to ask. We should not ask, what the lizard is going to, what is the outcome of the lizard song. No, we should not ask because Sadguru is there. Either we have to have, we have two options. One is either we have to get into a Tattva Vichara with the Guru. Why the lizard is there? Why I am here? Why there is a difference between me and lizard? That kind of things you can ask. The question that ends up in a Tattva Vichara. Because Guru is there to explain that. If you are not capable enough to get into a Tattva Vichara with the Guru, then you have to surrender to Guru by understanding Guru. At least, Guru demonstrated his, it's omnipresence, right? In front of that, he demonstrated that. So we have to understand he is much better than us. So we have to surrender that Sarvavyapi is there, he knows better, and there is nothing to ask. He will take care. Right? When he is a Sarvavyapi, Sakshat Parabrahma is there, what is there to ask? Either surrender or you end up in Tattva Vichara. That is what Baba wanted from us. So that is where, if you go to the Satcharitra, such gems are there. Example, again, I am saying that chapter 32. One more example. Chapter 32, there is a Sarkar part, right? Baba talks about Sarkar. Last part of chapter 32, where Baba says, he talks about three entities. Bhagavan, right? What are those three? Fakir, Bhagavan, and Sarkar. These are the three entities he is pointing on. My Fakir, my Bhagavan, my Sarkar. Right? Then who are these three? Whom Baba is pointing as of my Fakir. Because we know Baba is Fakir. And Baba talks about my Fakir. Who is that my Fakir? And who is that Bhagavan? And who is that Sarkar? We don't know, right? When a realized being is talking, they will always talk from the Brahmagna. They will talk from that consciousness. When they talk from that consciousness, okay, there will be a third person perspective will be there. Getting my point? If you read carefully, Baba says, my Fakir, my Bhagwan, and my Sarkar. Right? Here he talks about three levels of consciousness. The consciousness that we have now in Ayurveda or Yoga, we call this consciousness as Jagrat, where our consciousness is fully performing with our senses, the five senses, seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touch. All these are five senses. When the consciousness is working with the five senses, we call it as Jagrat. Okay. This state of consciousness is also compared with Brahma, the four-headed Brahma, because he is the creator. In our tradition, Hindu tradition, we have Brahma with four heads, right? And Brahma is for creation. The Trinity, I'm talking about the Trinity, three gods. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Brahma is the creator. Vishnu is the sustainer, right? And the Shiva, as a Rudra, is a destroyer. You know why the jobs are given to them? These are nothing but they are not doing that. These are the metaphor of the consciousness. When your consciousness is working under your senses, you create the world around you. You create yourself. Am I right? When your consciousness is working under the senses, you are creating the world around you. To understand this, you have to understand the process of birth. When a baby forms in a mother's womb, right? The first 3 months, it is the flesh meat, right? It is just there. And after the third month, there is a small movements happen. Maybe the mother knows that, or maybe after a little later, the mother will come to know there is a movement. Until that, there is no movement. According to the neuroscience, it is the first neural impulse will happen end of the 3rd month. Because that is where that fetus is formed on its full. The heart, the spine, the brain, the limbs, everything on its full. When that is full, then the awareness will be there of the whole body. And the neuroscience call that as a global space. According to the neuroscience, this state of awareness is called global space. Actually, this is what in Ayurveda, in Yoga Shastra, this is called the formation of Jivatma. This is Jivatma.
After the 3rd month.
After the 3rd month. You getting my point? Where that being coming into existence started having the awareness of its body. And when that comes out of the mother's womb, as a baby, started learning everything around the world. Right? How the baby is learning? Through the senses. Right? Eyes, nose, mouth, ears, touch sensation. Through this, the baby starts growing and learning everything. And started adding layers and layers of data. And there it develops a personality. I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm a son of so-and-so, I'm a daughter of so-and-so, I'm a brother of so-and-so, right? I'm a husband of so-and-so, I'm a wife of so-and-so, I'm a friend of so-and-so, I'm an Indian, I'm an American. All these are layers of data added. These are data. Where are you in all this? You're getting my point? Because this is directly going to connect with chapter 32. That is why I'm coming out with all these questions, So where are you in all this? You are collecting all the data and you are building a layers and layers of data. Where are you in all this? Are you able to identify yourself in that? See, when the fetus forms, the first 3 months, there is no idea of what you are. Okay? End of the 3rd month, there is a growth. A complete growth happens. Brain on its full, the limbs, spine, everything is there. So there is a certain awareness. And then the next 6 months, then coming out and started learning everything through the senses. In all this, where are you? Any idea?
Probably the soul.
Soul is something which we don't have an experience now. We will talk about things that are under our experience. Okay? So, in all this, who are we? It's a question, it's a very famous, no? In Tattva Vichara, this question is called, who am I? So, who am I in all this? Any idea? Because whatever the data, what you are carrying now, is the data that you accumulated from the time you born. Think carefully, you will understand what I am asking. It is the data that you accumulated in all these years. In all this, where are you? If you understand this, we can understand what Baba talks in chapter 32. Getting my point? If we understand this process, this Tattva Vichara, then only we can understand what Baba talks in chapter 32, because Baba is talking about a treasure in chapter 32. He says, my Sarkar is having a lot of treasure.
Come and take it.
You know what is that treasure? What I am talking now, that is the treasure. Getting my point? So Baba left a legacy, his teachings, this way, in parables. Only people who can think, they can get into that. We don't want to think, okay, that's a different story. You have your own good and bad. We are not getting into that. If you want to come out of all this, good and bad, sufferings, because if there is good, definitely there should be a bad. Right? So, to come out of that sufferings, we have to learn all this. We have to understand this. See, in Sanskrit, we have the word called Ananda. Do you know the meaning of Ananda? Anyone know?
Bliss or happiness.
Bliss is the right thing. It is, see, there is no English equivalent word. We can say bliss. Happiness means, if we say happiness, we are identifying happiness through sorrow. Am I right or wrong? If there is no sorrow, we won't say there is happiness. If there is no happiness, we cannot identify the sorrow. Both should exist. Then only we can differentiate. So if we say Sugha, Dukkha will be there. So I'm not talking about that. Ananda is beyond Sugaduk, which is called Ananda. Got it? So to attain that, to get that Ananda, because that is the actual state of being, because we have the Sat Chit Anand. The end of the Vedas, the only expression after understanding all this is Sat Chit Anand. I will explain that. But Ananda is the thing that we needed. And for that only we have the Guru with us to teach us and to make us realize and to experience the Ananda. When that happens, we will say Sat Chit Anand, because it becomes our Chit. That eternal Ananda will become our expression. That is called Sat Chit Anand. Okay. To experience that, we need a Guru. Otherwise, we don't know. Na? We will go through all the sufferings. We'll be happy. At the same time, sufferings will be waiting for us. Right? So, to get beyond that and to become a karma yogi, everyone should become that. That's really a good state, When we learn to be a karma yogi, we can very well exist in this world. That is why we celebrate Ramayana and Mahabharata, because there are two heroes as karma yogi.
Karma yogi means do all our actions and surrender the result to.
Always they will be in that. They know that.
Yeah, they'll put their efforts, but results they won't bother about.
It is not just that. It is not just that. It is that they will be always in the Brahmajnan, but they will be performing their things. So that is why they won't bother about the results. Because of that, not because of this. Because of that, they won't bother about the results. So we misinterpreted Bhagavad Gita.
Because yesterday he had to take part in one Chinmay mission, a drama. He was made Abdul Kalam. So there he had the role, he had to tell that Abdul Kalam told that I faced a lot of failures in during lockdowns, but I took inspiration from Gita, which means that in Karma Yoga, do all your actions as a duty, Ishvara, but don't worry about the result. So I took that and I was performing my duty, and so I was able to.
That is one positive side effect, being a Karma Yogi. But that is not Karma Yogi. That is one benefit that we are getting out of that. Karma Yogi means you will be always in the state of Brahmajnan. Because of that, whatever you do, you won't care about anything. And that way you will become a perfected being. Because nothing will bother you.
Just to
There will be a balance.
Not to affecting to them.
Yeah. So if you carefully watch Sri Krishna and Sri Rama, you can see that they are the Brahma Yogi. They are that Karma Yogis. See, Sri Rama went through many sufferings. We know that. No one would suffer like that. He went through that much of suffering. And Krishna also. We know Krishna as a chocolate boy, play all this thing. But, his life was full of sufferings. He born in a...
Jail, and he did not have his parents. And so many
he wanted to marry Radha. He ended up marrying Rukmani. Right. So he also went through many. Until his 86. He passed away somewhere around 86. According to I'm not talking about the Puran. I'm talking about the history. Because Siddhigas is history. Hope people know about that. In our Hindu Sampradaya, in Sanatana, we have this 4 layers. You know that hierarchy? Vedas, the first one. Vedas on the top. And then we have the Puranas. Then we have the Idigas, and then we have the Smritis. The Vedas on top because it is written by the realized beings, rishis.
It's like SOP.
Yes, it talks about only the truth, Brahmajnan. So that is why it is on the top.
The 4 Vedas.
4 Vedas. Vedas are one. It is classified based on the way it is written. Okay. So Vedas are on top because it talks about the truth. That will take us out from the sufferings. So Vedas are very important. See, if we read Vedas, the first part of Veda will be about rituals. Okay, that is okay, fine. The last part of Veda is very important, where the Vedanta is there. Based on that only we constructed Upanishads. In a way, Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad, technically. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna always points to Veda. In Vedas it is said like that, in Vedas it is said like that. Sri Krishna points us Veda that much, Veda is that much on the top. So everyone should know. We are now out of that, but it is highly recommended everyone should read Vedas, regardless of whatever they are. If we read Vedas as it is, the last part of it, then there is no need for guru.
There is a classification, right? So few people are from the Ruk Vedis, few people are from the Yajur Vedi. It has been taught by our tradition, right?
See, Eknopavitam. First, you know what is the meaning of Eknopavitam? Why we wear?
Vedam is a thread, the three threads.
The secret that a Brahmin will wear, that contains the 3 knots and the 3 threads. That is the Eknopavitam. That, I was explaining that, it is representing the 3 levels of consciousness. Every day we go through 3 levels of consciousness, which is called Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. I was explaining that. Let me explain it again. When our consciousness is going through all the senses, which is called the Jagrat, the so-called awakened state, that what we are now. This is one state of consciousness. Then we are going to sleep. We are entering that state of dream consciousness, which is called Swapna, where we exist in that reality in the mental space, right? And then we are slipping into the deep sleep, where there is no influence of anything, no memory, no senses, nothing. We don't know. It's a blankness. That is a step called Sushupti, deep sleep. That is another consciousness. But there is a 4th consciousness called Turiya. The name itself means 4th. Turiya means 4th. Okay. That is the ultimate consciousness. 4th one. That has been, explained, defined in various words. The another word for Turiya is Samadhi. And there are different Samadhis are there. We'll talk about that later. But the 4th one is the Samadhi. So, we should be in the state of Turiya, which is the Brahmajnana. It is state of Samadhi. We should be always, Samadhi means not, death. Samadhi means it's a consciousness. Samadhi means, it's a Sanskrit word of 2 combination of words, which is Sama plus Di, or Samartha plus Di. Di means Buddhi. The Buddhi works as Parabrahm. That is the ultimate Buddhi. When that is working with the body, it becomes the Jiva Buddhi or Jivatma. The Paramatma works in the body as Jivatma. It is in both, the Buddhi is there. When we filter out all the senses from this body, then Buddhi will become the Paramatma. This is the essence. Okay. Nothing complicated, nothing big rocket science. It's very simple science. Spirituality is very simple actually. We made it a lot of complication. So this, we have to cross through this 3 consciousness of Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. And the 4th one is the Turiya. We should be there in that state. A person who is in the Turiya is called Brahman, because he realized the Brahman. A person who realized Brahman is Brahman. And he will be having that as a metaphor. The Eknopavitam. Got it? That is right? That thing is there. So you are talking about that Eknopavitam, right?
Yes, but I'm just trying to Veda. One is classified into 4. Then
Okay. You're talking about the... See, long back, there were gurus who are realized beings. They are the Brahmins, because they realized Brahman. So they were guiding the people, community. They were guiding the king. They were guiding everyone. So they were given a lot of importance. But later what happened, that becomes a... See, in our community, in India, at least in India, we have the caste, the varnas, okay? Where, people will be, through their ages, the family will be doing the same business, right? It's a good thing. Actually, it's a good thing because, see, if I'm saying this, people will think bad, but actually it's a good thing. Why? Because, for example, there is one particular carpenter, okay? In a village, there's a carpenter. And the carpenter knows the best way of doing carpenting work. And the kid is growing in his family, his son or daughter or whoever it is. Okay. They will also learn. When they learn that, they don't need to go out to search for a job. Instantly they got a job. See, it is end of the day, we need food to survive. They will get that through that. So there is no friction of going out and searching for a job. Everyone will get their survival right there in their house. That is why this thing came. But later on, that became a caste. And then the discrimination came. That is wrong. I'm getting my point. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says that Chaturvarna, okay, Chaturvarna, basically 4 types. That is one who can have Brahman, the other one has a Vaishya, right?
Yes.
I mean, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya,
and Shudra.
Shudra. That nothing but from the birth. It is about the capability of the person. If a person can think to realize the truth, it can be anyone. Anyone who can think and realize the truth, he can become a Brahman. It is not necessarily, it is a family lineage, not by birth. If a person can think, he can become a Brahman. Simple. Okay, that is a spiritual side. But a person is good enough to think to make money, he can become a Vaishya. Well, because that is also needed for a community. Right? A person who is good in administrating. We are seeing that, no? People who are good in leadership, they can become the Kshatriya. A person who can do works, they can't think much, they can't do administration work, they can do other works. They can put their physical contribution. They are Sudras. It is not by birth. Today we are seeing in all the community that people are being Sudra, people are being Brahmana.
There is discrimination is also happening because the Brahman form, it is like they're not doing the work of that particular committee, but still they think that
Why this happened? Because we started giving a lot of importance to the Brahmana because he is a realized one. And he was guiding properly
during the ancient
those days. So we given certain importance to them because they are guiding people on the right track. Right? But later on when it becomes a family business, they felt insecure. They felt that they will lose their
position
importance. And there it all started. The insecurity. So that is a politics. This is about the truth. We talk about that. So that is the answer to what you asked. This is an anthropological thing, nothing to do with the spiritual thing. Okay. So coming back to the consciousness, we were talking about the consciousness. The Guru is there to guide us on this. And our Baba lived such a life. With the Vairagya when he was a small boy, 19-20 years, living under the neem tree, he was carrying that spiritual Vairagya, living under the neem tree. He learned many things and he served the humanity. Right? Okay, let me tell you this. Baba met his Guru when he was 8 years old. I am not saying that. Baba only said that. In Satcharitra, it is there. Baba says, in chapter 32, it is there. So that's what we are talking about, that spiritual gems. Now I remember. Because we stopped there when we are talking about the lizard. Because, why we started talking about the lizard and the chapter 32? Because I was saying certain things, you said, no, such a thing is not there in Satcharitra. Right? This is not explained in Satcharitra because there are certain things that we have to explore, like the lizard and chapter 32. To understand chapter 32, we have to go to the entire process of Tattva Vichara. Then only we can understand chapter 32. If we can understand chapter 32, then we will start understanding our Guru from that angle. Getting my point?
Right.
Why we need to understand Guru, then we will have some harmony in our life. When we understand Guru. When we understand our Guru, okay, much of our sufferings will come down. Practically. So much of our prayer requests will also come down. Got it? Get it? See, in our last satsang, I was talking about the prayer. There was one sister who submitted a prayer request. A kid want to become number 1 in the spell bee competition.
Yes,
Right?
yeah, we were there in the group, right?
This is where I'm saying that we have a very big misinterpretation and misunderstanding about our Guru. See, basically we are praying to Baba to make that kid to become number 1. But the other meaning of this is, we are asking Baba to push the kids, the other kids.
Yes, push the other kids and make their
Yeah.
kids number one, correct.
How a guru will do that?
Yeah. Because other kids are also his kid
Huh.
only, right?
Guru is like a dad and mom.
Yes.
See, if there is a dad and mom, they won't discriminate among the kids. No? If they are doing, they are not the perfect mom. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about perfect mother and dad. If a perfect mother and dad, they won't do any discrimination. All the kids are same. Okay. So Guru being a mother, he won't do that discrimination. But we are asking him to do that discrimination. How is that possible? That means we are having a misunderstanding about the Guru. And we are putting one prayer. That is another suffering, am I right? If we understand Guru, this prayer won't come. And much of the prayers are like this. Trust me, because I am getting that. I am the one submitting many things. Because many things I cannot reveal, but when I read that, 99% doesn't make any sense at all. Because much of the things can be handled by ourselves. But for many things, we are relying on Guru, and that way intellectually we become lazy. At least intellectually we will become lazy, right? See, for example, that sister submitted that prayer. And I don't know whether to say fortunately, unfortunately, that guy, that little boy got the first question.
Yeah, I got the first because
Huh.
I told
Everyone started praising, Guru, Baba did that, like that. See, what is happening there? So fundamentally, Guru is pushing the other kids.
Yes.
Point one. Point two, that kid's self-confidence will be losing. Am I right or not? He won that because of his effort. It's not because of Shirdi Sai Baba. Am I right?
Right.
It is about his own efforts. We are giving credit to Shirdi Sai. Where that kid's self-confidence will be, distorted. Right? That is wrong, no? Where we have to go and, take surrender to our Guru only when things are out of our logic, when things are out of our control. See, the maximum we have to understand the consequences in front of us, right? Then we can handle it in a better way. If things are beyond our control, beyond our logics, then we can take refuge. Then we can. For small things, we should not disturb him. That's what I mean to say. Okay. See, there was one guy who was roaming around Dwarkamai, a young fellow, like in his early 20s. And I saw him, he came with a nice shirt and pant. After some months, I saw him roaming with a dirty pant and shirt, roaming there. You know, right? So I asked him, why don't you find a job? If you want to be in Shirdi, make your own money, make your own living. Why you are depending on others? On that he said, like that. I said, I'll try to find some job for you. On that he said, let me ask Baba. Because my health condition is such that I have to ask Baba. I said, why are you troubling that old man? You know about your health. Why are you going and asking him? Right? So intellectually we will become lazy. For everything we are going and asking him, we become intellectually lazy. So what I am saying is we have to understand. Once we understand our Guru, much of this can be saved. Right? That's what I am saying. So we should know where to get help from our Guru. See, Guru is not to help us on the material things. Unfortunately, it happened that way, that we are seeking help from our Guru for the material thing. Okay, fine. Okay. See, if someone is going to survival issues like a disease, okay, then it is very logical that we can take a help. But I want this, I want that, spell B, all that, we need Guru. That is see, in my last podcast, that's why I said, we have to approach that with a two vision, that survival-based suffering, non-survival-based suffering. That we should have, fundamentally, we have to, know how to handle this. And then we can approach the Guru. But we have to approach the Guru only for spiritual progress, because it is always beyond our control. Because God is a thing which is very mystical, a very mysterious thing, which is not under our logic. For that, we need Guru. As I said, for that only we need Guru. For spell bee and other things we can manage ourselves. Right? So, only to identify God, to experience God, we need Guru. Once we understand the truth, much of our sufferings will come to an end, or at least we know how to manage. I'm not saying, miraculously the sufferings will go on. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that the real miracle is how we can adopt and learn how to handle the sufferings. That is the real miracle. If we understand our Guru, we will get such a sense to handle the sufferings. Sai Baba, our Baba, again I'm coming to the same story, that he was living under such a circumstance, 20 years old. He was living under the neem tree with such a condition. There was no basic thing for him. Just think, because we put him in such a stature as an avatar, we overlooked his suffering. But if you see him as a human being, just like us, just think, how in that Shirdi 170 years ago.
So many insects, no, cold, summer, everything.
Snakes will be there, scorpions will be there, insects will be there. That is why, when I saw that mantis in my apartment corridor, in the group I shared that, one day when I was coming back to my apartment in the night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I don't remember, I saw this much big mantis, the insect, that stick-like insect, this much big. And he or she, I don't know what is that, but that was giving a nice pose to me. When I was taking the mobile, she or he turned towards me and giving a nice pose. I took that thing because I have that habit of taking everything. I took that. Then I realized, at this time, at this lighting conditions and people are roaming here and there, this insect is there. Just think 170 years ago when he was living under the neem tree, all that insect will be there. So how much he would have suffered? Insect bites, this. Why I'm saying this is very important for our kids to know this, because
For the problem that nowadays survival is so easy. They get food, clothes, this thing easily. Still there are so many tests, all this, that.
So, see, forget the grown-ups. We have some mental conditions. It is very tough to change them. That is why I always say that kids should know this. At least the next generation should know that what Baba went through. That is why I am saying he is a guiding light for the next generation. Getting my point? When they know his teachings and his history as it is, not the fabricated stories, as a miracle man. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how a human being, just like us, went through a lot of sufferings and achieved this stature of Sakshat Parabrahma. That is a big inspirational story, right? For kids, that anyone can become Sakshat Parabrahma. Starting from that zero, sitting under the neem tree. He is such an inspiration. Our Sadguru Shirdi Sai is such an inspiration. We can learn his life. We'll come to the teaching later. This teaching is one step ahead that we will talk later. But life, it is so simple. It is in front of us. That itself will teach us two things: how to handle the material life, how to handle the spiritual life. That is why he is the Vishwa Guru. He is the Jagat Guru. And when I say Jagat Guru, technically he is a Jagat Guru. Because I'm doing all the research in the Sufism, because our Baba was practicing Sufism also. He practiced that.
You written in the book.
Yes. He is from both the Sampradaya, from the Sufi and as well as the Nath Sampradaya. In Sufism, there is an hierarchy. I think first time I'm talking that in front of this, because we have many people watching online. So yesterday we were talking about that. So what I'm going to share now was a kind of a secret that was there. So in Sufism, there is a spiritual hierarchy. They call it as a Nizam. Nizam means governance, administration. This is a spiritual governance. Okay, there will be a lot of Hauliyas in the hierarchy. Hauliya means yogis. The literal meaning of Hauliya means a very beautiful word. Hauliya means friend of God. The meaning of Hauliya means friend of God. That's so beautiful, right?
Then Sundara also Auliya, right?
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Akbar Sundaran.
All our 9 months, all are Awliyas only.
Awliyas.
Because they are friend of. And that is the one of the best awliya. Right? So they are awliya only. So that is a very beautiful word, awliya. Okay. So that is al-wali. That is the actual. That becomes al-wali means singular, friend of God. Awliya means plural, friends of God. Actually, but they started using that awliya for a single guru also. Okay. This group of awliyas, they'll be there all around. That forms a hierarchy. And top of that hierarchy, the number one on the hierarchy is called Qutub al-Aqtab. According to Sufism, in the Arabic term, it's called Qutub al-Aqtab. That means the axis of creation, existence. The literal meaning of Qutub al-Aqtab means, Qutub means the axis pole. They are the pole of the entire creation. That means they are next to God. So the equivalent word in Hindu Sampradaya is Jagat Guru or Avatuda.
Kutubuddin Aibak and all were there.
I know that is a different fellow.
But you are using the name.
See, because Kutub means someone who achieved maybe in spiritual stature. Maybe in the spiritual thing or in the material thing, if someone is achieving a big thing, they will be called Kutub. That's why we have the Kutub Minar in Delhi. Because that's a big one. Because they reach some victory, that's a story. Okay, coming back. So this hierarchy on the top is called Qutub al-Aqtab or Jagat Guru. Our Baba is Jagat Guru. This is the proof. I'm coming through the Sufi eyes. I'm coming through the Sufi eyes to prove that our Baba, see, there is no need for him to prove, but as a lover of Sai, I'm saying that to prove that he is Jagat Guru, this is the proof that they have a protocol on this hierarchy. The one who is on the top of the Nizam, that is the Qutub al-Aqtab, to become a Qutub al-Aqtab, they have protocols. Okay, in that, one of the characters is they can order the nature. If there is a rain or storm or flood, they can order to stop it. But other awliyas can pray. If the storm is happening or rain is happening, the others can pray to God that it should not happen. But the Qutub al-Aqtab is the only one on that hierarchy, can stop it with order. And our Baba did that. He came to the edge of the Dwarkamani, standing and showing his Satka. He stopped. He ordered. So only a Jagat Guru can order the 5 elements. He can take the absolute control of the 5 elements. That is possible only for a Jagat Guru. That is what I am saying. Our Babu,
Isn't Baba God?
he is next to that. If we make Baba as a God, see, I always used to say, I'm sorry for my words, but I used, to make people to understand, I always used to say that God is a thing that is, one of my podcasts, I said that God is useless. Sorry for my word, because
In Christianity, they tell Jesus Christ is Son of God. Prophet Muhammad is Prophet.
yeah, he's a messenger of God.
Then who is actually the
Who is
God
actually
comes
God?
to the
See, in Hindu Sampradaya, we have Shiva, Vishnu, and Mahesh, Brahma, right? See, that is one of the wrong interpretations. God is a God. That is why we have the name Brahma or Parabrahm. Okay? So that is why now, at the beginning, I was talking about giving explanation to Guru Vandanam. We have the Guru Vandanam, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. This is the Guru Vandanam. In that, there are 3 entities listed: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. And then the Guru Vandanam goes and says, Sakshat Parabrahma. Then who are these 3? It says Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, Guru is Maheshwar, and Guru is Sakshat Parabrahma.
So they are telling that they are above the 3 entities. Guru is above the 3 entities because he
Guru is everything.
everything.
But the Guru Vandanam explains there are 3 entities, na? Maheshwar. Then it talks about Sakshat Parabrahma. So these three fellows also Parabrahma. Why then? What is the need to explain as a Parabrahma? Sakshat Parabrahma. Because these three are the metaphor of that. When the God thing is acting on certain things, the Parabrahm, when it comes to actions, it becomes three. That can be explained as a metaphor. So that's what I was talking about. Maheshwar as a destroyer, Vishnu as a sustainer, and Brahma as a creator. The actual meaning of this is this, that these are the different conscious level. When our consciousness is working through our senses, we are Brahma, we are creating. Getting my point? When our consciousness working through our senses, five senses, we have the existence, we have the creation in front of us. When we go to sleep, in the deep sleep, we are unaffected by all the senses. We are there. See, we have a very good experience of deep sleep, right? When we get the deep sleep, we enjoy that almost, right? So that is the state of Vishnu, sustainer of the Aham, the Ahankar. Why I am saying that? See, let me explain. These are the states of consciousness, right? In the state of Brahma, we are creating the world in front of us through our senses. When we are going to sleep, in the deep sleep, we are unaffected by the senses. Getting my point? When there is no influence of senses, at least there is no happiness and sorrow. There is no sufferings, at least. If you can enter in that state with awareness, that is the absolute state. In Ashtanga Yoga, it is called Dhyan, the seventh state. We'll explain that later, but let me come back to this. In that state, Vishnu is identified as Sushupti, deep sleep. That is why in Tiruvananthapuram, or in Sri Rangam, we can see as a Sayana. We call him as Ananta Sayana. Why someone is sleeping is called Ananta Sayana. Right? And you can see, he got a small smiling on his face. If you see the Tiruvananthapuram, Padmanabha Swami, we can see him, he is lying on that Sheshnag, right? And one hand will be touching the Shivalinga, and you can see the Padmanabha Brahma, the lotus. You can check, this there. He is the Ananta Sayana. Why is called Ananta Sayana? Why someone is sleeping is called Ananta Sayana? And why is, it is in the Shilpa Shastra is given that metaphor of smiling. Because it is, in the deep sleep, we don't have sufferings. Right? In the deep sleep, we are out of sufferings because there is no influence of senses. So whoever is sleeping in their state of Sushupti, they are Vishnu.
So God is a state of mind.
Yes.
Higher state of mind.
Yes, little higher state. But still there is Ahankar. Still it is there. The seed of I am is still there. That holding is called sustainer. That state of consciousness is still holding I am. That is the sustaining part of this. That is why he is called sustainer. And then we enter into the state of Turiya or Samadhi, where this ultimate I am is also destroyed. Then one becomes Shiva. You getting? This Shiva is another state of consciousness. We are entering into the Turiya or Samadhi, where everything is destroyed. I mean, what we are carrying. That is destroyed, ultimately destroyed. That is why he is destroyed. When the ego is destroyed, we become the Parabrahm, the state, fourth one. Okay, that is why if you carefully watch, Shiva as a yogi, Vishnu and Brahma will be with all their attires, with all the jewels, everything on. But if you see Shiva as a yogi, right? He won't wear. It's a metaphor. Because, one who is attained that, they won't have any likings of anything. That is why the yogis will be roaming like, our Baba, if you take Baba with a dirty thorn kafni, and there are some Digambars, they won't even wear any dress. They are Digambars. That means they will wear all the direction as their dress.
So even in the Guru Vandana and everything, we are showing this No, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all these things. So where the Shakti comes from? Because
Shakti.
Shakti, because
Oh,
even
that's a good
for
question.
normal human being also, the female only giving birth. If it is applicable for all creature, female is giving the birth. Right?
Okay.
But then, as a cosmos, where this female is from?
So you are asking about Shiva and Shakti, right?
Shiva.
That's fundamentally that's the question, right?
That is the question.
Okay, give me water.
I'll get over.
That will do. That will do. See, we know this water is there for billions of years, right? This water is there, billions of years it is there. Okay, and we know this water is made of water molecules, right? And every water molecule will have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom. We were talking about that yesterday. There were 2 hydrogen and 1 atom becomes a water molecule. This is the atomic number. Okay, and we know this water is there for billions of years. That means billions of years, this atomic number formula is there.
Correct. We came to know.
Huh. So the H2O formula is there for billions of years, right? So what is there that shows that for billions of years, there is a data to hold this formula. It is kind of a memory. Otherwise, how can it is possible? There should be a certain level of memory should be there for the cosmos. Then only this formula can be there for billions of years. We can call that as a memory, right? If there is a memory, there should be an intelligence needed to process that. If data is still there, what is the use of that? Data will be a data. But there is an intelligence is needed to process the data. Getting my point? So data will be there. H2O is a formula, data. Intelligence is needed to join the atoms. Then only the water will be created. So there is a data, there is an intelligence. Got it, man? We call it as Shiva and Shakti. Getting my point? There is a cosmos level intelligence and data is there. Okay. That we call it as a, what to say, Ishvara Chaitanya. This combination of this data and intelligence is called Ishvara Chaitanya. In Ayurveda and Yoga, it is called prana. The prana is everywhere. Actually, if it is everywhere, then only the creation will happen. Because that knows the formula and that knows how to do that. But without the data, what the intelligence will do? Getting my point? If there is no data, intelligence will be there, just like that. That is why in our Puranas, it is said that Shiva and Shakti are needed. Without Shakti, Shiva cannot exist. Without Shiva, Shakti, we know the stories. Basically, this is the thing they try to convey, that there is a fundamental intelligence and data is there, which is called Shiva and Shakti. In Saiva Siddhanta, it is called the Ishvara Chaitanya or Sadashiva. See, you know about 36 tattvas of Saiva Siddhanta? Anyone knows about this?
I hear that there is a 36 tattva, but I'm not sure.
There is 36 tattvas.
Huh.
That is nothing but they categorized the existence into 36. From the bottommost to the topmost. Bottommost is the creation what we see in front of us. And the topmost is the God. So in between there are many tattvas are there. The existence in various forms. If we understand all this, then we can understand the ultimate one. That is what the Saiva Siddhanta is. The Siddhanta is that. Got it, na? In the topmost layer, see, there are fundamentally 3 types. That layer 36 is categorized into 3. The first one on the bottom is called Atma Tattva. Okay? The middle layer is called Maya Tattva. And the topmost is Shiva Tattva. So it is coming from the Shiva Tattva, from the top to bottom. From Shiva Tattvam comes the Maya Tattvam, and from the Maya Tattvam comes the Jiva Tattvam. Okay, so there is 36 Tattvas that explains the existence. So on the Shiva Tattvam, there is this that is called Shiva and Shakti, the primordial force that creates everything. That is what they are called creators. They create. They create.
That's why the Lalita Sahasranama end with Shiva Shakti Aikya Swarupini Namaha.
Yes, that is what it is. Aikya Swarupini.
Aikya Swarupini.
When the Shiva Shakti becomes the Aikya Swarupini, that forms the Sadashiva. So on the top we have the Adi Shiva, then we have the Shiva and Shakti, then we have the Sadashiva, then we have the Ishvara, and then we have the Suddha Shaktis, that is the three trinities, and that creates the Maya. Okay, so if as the individual, when we filter out our senses, what remains is just the awareness. Because that's what I was talking to him, that we built layers and layers of data on us, right? If we filter out, if we take out all the layers, like peeling the onion, what is left out?
Okay.
If I peel all the layers on you, you carry a name, you carry a gender identity, you carry a relationship identity, right? If I take out everything, because these are the data that you gathered from the day you born. If we wipe out all that memories, who are you? Be able to identify that, to realize that some blankness is there, right? To get that experience of that blankness that we were talking yesterday, that when we, in our experience, when we understand that blankness, then we will know what our existence is. Otherwise, it's a belief. Okay, we can identify, okay, something is there. If we filter out everything, something is there. But we don't know what is that. If that becomes experience, then we will have to understand. That is why we need the yoga. The yoga sadhanas are there. And there also, our Guru did a wonderful job, our Sai. Because when we talk about the yoga, okay, there are a lot of complicated yoga sadhanas are there. You know, basically we can categorize yoga into two categories. One is as Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Hatha Yoga is for the physical well-being. The Raja Yoga is for spiritual well-being. So now let me explain the Ashtanga Yoga. The Ashtanga Yoga means 8 parts of yoga, right? This is needed. We need to know all this. Then only we can understand who is our Guru. Because, he left a legacy, a teaching. Even in yoga also, he left a legacy. We don't know that. He left a legacy, his teachings through the Nam Jap. Baba was talking about Nam Jap. See, I myself learned many yogas. 12 years I did many things. I got Diksha from many gurus in the southernmost Tamil Nadu. There is hills, Polimalai, Sadragiri, all that. I went around all the 13, 14 years ago. I stayed there. I got Diksha from there. I stayed in the caves. All that. That's why I know the sufferings. I got that Diksha. I learned. And I practiced this 12 years. And that after the 12 years, I reached some state of consciousness. It took that many years. But when I came to Shirdi, the beauty of our Guru, see, 12 years of practicing intense sadhana, yoga sadhana, in terms of Kriya and Vasi. Hope you guys know about Kriya Yoga. Learned about Kriya. At least you would have heard about Kriya Yoga. Right? So, 12 years of practicing Kriya. Okay. And when I came down to Shirdi, see, when I was doing this Kriya Yoga for the 12 years, I will select Saturdays. Because that is where no work is there. No one will be visiting me. So I will be doing this sadhana in my office. Not in my home, not anywhere. Because, being a grahastha, I cannot leave all things. Office is my place because that's my office, my own business. So no one can ask me. So in my cabin, I will ask my friend, brother, to lock from outside so that no one will disturb. So, and I gave him instructions. wait for 5-6 hours. If there is no response from me, then you come open and do certain things to wake me up. Okay. That never happened. So, but I was doing that. Why I am saying this? Because it will take 4.5 hours for me to reach certain level. We'll talk about consciousness. Okay. So to reach that conscious level, it is like a sleep cycle for me. First, I will be elevating my consciousness to a certain level. That will take 1.5 hours. Then I will sustain in that consciousness for another 30 minutes, 1 hour. Then I have to come back. That will take another 1.5 hours. So put together 4.5 hours. Okay. So it took 12 years for me to reach that. But when I came to Shirdi, when I started living in Shirdi, when I started doing this research about our Baba, I started to learn about the Nam Jap that Baba was, teaching others. In Sufism, it is called Zikr. I personally got trained in all that. When I did that, what it took 4.5 hours for me to achieve, it took only 10-15 minutes.
Because of Nam Jap.
Nam Jap
This is
that-
like a mantra chanting, na?
Because initially I was not interested in Nam Jap. I was thinking, what is this Nam Jap? Boring. All the time repeating the same name. It's very boring, right? So I was not showing any interest on Nam Jap. And I was into the core of yoga, doing the Vasi, Kriya, that, this. Why? Because there is a technical thing about this. That is, when we are doing yoga, as a beginner, we will fall asleep. See, when we do yoga, let me explain the Ashtanga yoga, then this can be understandable. See, Ashtanga yoga means 8 parts of yoga. That is the meaning. Ashtanga yoga. 8 parts of yoga. What are those 8 parts? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The objective of this is to attain Samadhi. To attain Samadhi, we have to go through these 7 steps. So it starts from Yama. Yama is self-discipline. To sit in one posture like this and to do the pranayama, our body and mind should cooperate. Otherwise, we cannot sit. No? If we have a physical disability, how we can sit and do? Say if a person have some issues or eating, not a disciplined life, eating a lot, sitting, gastric trouble will happen. It won't allow the person to sit. They will fall asleep. All these things will happen. So, a self-discipline is much needed to do this sadhana, which is called Yama. Yama means self-discipline. Right time to eat, right food to eat, proper way of sleeping, proper way of living. Self-discipline. That is Yama. Then we have the Niyama, social discipline. When we have the self-discipline, then we know how to behave with others. If we don't know how to behave with others, we will lose the harmony with others and they won't allow us to sit in a place. Right? So to sit in a place for a longer time, we should have certain harmony with others. See, for example, a wife doing a sadhana. If the wife having a problem with her husband, okay, but maybe the mistake on his side, let it be. He won't allow her to sit for a while. Am I right? This has happened. Vice versa. So we have to have the social discipline to have this harmony to sit in a place. It is Niyama Yama. Then when we practice this self-discipline and social discipline, then comes the posture. Then only we can sit. Why we have to sit? Then only we can do the pranayama. Why we have to do the pranayama? Then only the pratyahara will happen. Pratyahara is nothing but filtering out the senses. Because I was talking about that. When we filter out the senses, then only we will realize certain things. So when we sit and do pranayama, breath practice, then the pratyahara will happen, which is where pratyahara means we will be dissecting our senses, our existence. When we dissect, what remains is this simple awareness. That is dharana. Getting my point? That is the 6th part of that. The Ashtanga Yoga, dharana, where only awareness will be there. When that is prolonged for some time, then we will enter into a state of consciousness called dhyana. Dhyana is nothing but if you enter your deep sleep with awareness, that becomes dhyana. Dhyana is that. Every day we are going into deep sleep, right? Sushupti, but we don't know what is happening there. If we enter with all the awareness into the state of deep sleep, that becomes dhyana. Nowadays we are using that word dhyana. He is doing dhyana like that. No, dhyana is not that easy. It is just below samadhi. It is not that easy. But practice will make it possible. So dhyana is the seventh state. It is almost like samadhi, where our consciousness will be with awareness in the state of deep sleep. Dhyana. When we practice dhyana for a quite long time, then we can enter into samadhi. And again, samadhi is not the end. There are different types of samadhi. We have vikalpa, nirvikalpa, ashmita, shasmita, sagaja samadhi, jiva samadhi, and then we have the mahasamadhi. Okay, so there are different levels of, these are different levels of consciousness. So the yoga is this. To do all this, then only we can attain the eighth samadhi. But Baba introduced a method through Nam Jap we can attain samadhi. How easy it is. Which I learned for 12 years, it becomes so easy in 10 minutes. That is what I had learned. Which is through Nam Jap. It is not just a Nam Jap. With Nam Jap, there are some breathing techniques are there, but it is very easy. Why? Because, why the Nam Jap? It is the most brilliant design in the yoga. Nam Jap is the most brilliant, wise method. Because when we do the Ashtanga yoga or whatever yoga, to filter out your senses and get into the state of consciousness, you will fall asleep. It happens to many people. You sit in a place and do that. Our body is designed in such a way, when we are in the resting pose for a while, the brain starts its way. The melatonin, whatever, that will, the secretion will start. The body will think, the brain will think that the person is going to sleep in the resting position. So automatically, we'll fall asleep. To overcome that, we have the Nam Jap. We will do the Nam Jap with the continuous recitation of the Nama of the deity or Guru or God, whatever. When we do that, we are constantly keeping ourselves awake. In a simple way, I am explaining. We are constantly keeping ourselves awake because we have to recite the Nama, right? So we won't fall asleep. At the same time, our focus is only in one, reciting of the Nam. When our focus is one, automatically the dhyana will happen through certain practice. And that is what I learned after coming to Shirdi. So the Guru is so simple that he taught even the best technique. The very complicated thing also he made it very simple. See, already there are many Gurus who introduced Nam Jap. We have Nam Jap for hundreds and thousands of years. But the way Baba did, that's what I'm saying, it's so powerful that even Shama was taught doing that. Baba taught Shama this Nam Jap. One day, Mr. G. Kaperde, he was staying in Dwarakami one night. He was one of our freedom fighters. He was staying in the Dwarakami one night. Next to him sleeping was Shama. He noticed that this fellow is in sleep, deep sleep, still he is reciting. He noted that in his diary, Kaperde diary, it is there. Nam Japa is that powerful that Japa will continue even when we are sleeping. So when we do the Nam Jap, we will end up in a state of consciousness where the Japa will become Ajapa. That is the ultimate goal. That Baba taught us in a very, very simple way. Very simple way.
How? How?
See, maybe end of this session I can teach you, but what I can teach you is, see, what I did, Baba gave me the way to learn this. So what I did, I also, did some jugad in learning this yoga, and I named it as Sai Chaitanya Yoga. This is what I'm going to teach people, actually. When I say teach, people will think, nothing like a commercial. Just like that friendly way, I'm going to share my knowledge. That's all. Because, seeing people suffering, if they learn They will be in some harmony. It's very simple things, just a matter of 15 minutes we can learn. But I classified that categories into 4 stages. Today I can share that stage 1 and stage 2. If you do that, at one point of time you can call, I'm Murali, I'm practicing this, because you will say certain things where I can learn, I can understand that, okay, you cross certain things, then I can teach you stage 3 and 4. For that, I don't need to be in front of you. For stage 1 and 2, this gathering is needed because I have to check your nadi. Guru is so powerful, they know by seeing. I'm not into that. As of now, I can check your nadi, then I can understand what is going in your body. Accordingly, I can teach. Because everyone are going through certain things, right? According to Ayurveda, we have things called Dravya.
Kapha, Pitta.
That is Vata. That is the Tridosha. In Ayurveda, there is a 3 substances called Shakti Yukta Dravyam, Shakti Rupa Dravyam, Shakti Yukta Dravyam, and Shakti Hina Dravyam. Our body working on these 3 systems, according to Ayurveda. Shakti Rupa Dravyam, Rupa, form. Dravyam, Dravyam means substance. Shakti Yukta Dravyam, Yukta Dravyam. And then we have the Shakti Hina Dravyam. I will explain what is that. Shakti Rupa Dravyam is the Tridosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay. The prana is everywhere that is working in our body as Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Got it? Because prana is everywhere. That is the ultimate thing. As I told you, that is the primordial existence. Shiva as Shakti. The Ishvara Chaitanyam as prana getting into our body through our breathing. Through our breath, the prana goes in. Okay. That is why we live. So when that goes into our body, this prana will become, will do 10 jobs, 10 kinds of jobs. Fundamentally 5. Panchavayu. Right? Prana, Apana, Udana, Vyana, Samana. For example, Samana will take care of our digestions. Right? Apana take care of our yes. And reproduction and all that stuff. Okay. In Ayurveda, if someone is having a problem with constipation, we have to deal with the Apana Vayu. We have to give herbs that will activate Apana. Then their constipation will be taken care. Like that, many things are there. This is the thing, nothing big. So that is called Shakti Rupa Dravyam. And Shakti Yukta Dravyam is that's the Saptatadu. Saptatadu, you know that, no? That is flesh, blood, fat,
muscle.
Like that, there are bone marrows, all that. We are made of all this. Right? Then we have the Shakti Hina Dravyam. It is a metabolic waste management. That is also needed. Sweat is needed to make our body, cool down. We have to urinate. Then that whatever that filtering process that has to be sent out. Right? Like that, we have 3 metabolic waste management. This is needed for the body to perform. Right? So we have to understand all this. So everyone can't spend their time to understand. So there are people who can understand. They will become an Ayurvedic doctor or yoga instructor, whatever. See, that is what I wanted to tell now. We should not learn yoga just like that by online classes. That's very, very dangerous. Because I'll tell you one thing, one example. One sister, she said that I'm going to online class. I asked her what you are doing. She explained. I said, you are not supposed to do. But later on, there was no activity from her in our group. When I contacted her, she said that she got some issues on the spine and cervical. Because which I already know. Without learning that, we should not do that. We should know our body. Then only we should do. Okay, even when we are doing the intense yoga, lot of heat will form. That will affect our body. We should know what to eat. See, there is elachi banana, na? Elachi? Small one. That is so good. When we are doing the certain yoga sadhana, we have to eat that to keep our body cool. And we have to add a lot of ghee into our food during the sadhana. So like that, we should not learn things just like that. That's what I mean to say. So that is why I will touch the Nadi Shodhana, then only I can teach. Point one. So what I can teach as part of the Sai Chaitanya Yoga, I can teach the stage 1 and stage 2. That we can learn. Maybe today I can teach you that. You can practice going home. You can practice that. I can also teach you Hasta Chakra Yoga, which is very, very, very powerful actually. And it's very simple. No terms and conditions, nothing. You can learn just like that, where you will experience your own Pranamaya Kosha, your Prana body. You know now, we have 5 bodies. Right? You know that, right?
Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya.
Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is nothing but God or Samadhi. The 4 layers below that is what we are carrying, all the beings. Annamaya Kosha is the body that is made of food. Right? Our parents had food, they gave us this body through that food. The seminal fluid is made of food. We came out of that. This body is made of food. And this body needs food. Because it came out of food. So we need food. This is called, that is why it is called Anna. Anna means food. So Annamaya Kosha. Then we have the Pranamaya Kosha, body made of prana. Then body made of mano, mental space. Right? So when the Annamaya Kosha, the biological entity, works with the prana, Pranamaya Kosha, that creates the living being in the form of Manomaya Kosha. Manas means not mind. Manas is not mind. Manas is the entire body. The memory that what we are carrying, the process that is going through our body is manas. So the biological Annamaya Kosha works with the prana, creates the manas, where we become the living being. And up above, there is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is the intellectual existence, the buddhi. Our existence in the form of buddhi. So a person who starts thinking about spirituality, who starts questioning the existence, that means much of his consciousness working in the body of Vijnanamaya Kosha. A person who is always thinking about food, sleeping, reproduction, they are in the tamas of Annamaya Kosha. They will give a lot of importance to that. We cannot criticize them. I'm just saying it is part of evolution. See, if you see animals, if you take a dog, they are much towards the survival things. They want food, they want to reproduce, they will sleep. Have you noticed the dog? Stray dogs, at least. They will eat, they will sleep, they will reproduce. That's what they will do. When we evolve from that to this, that means our consciousness is evolving, not the body. Body is the same. So we have to understand that, and then we have to evolve with that. So if we are giving a lot of importance to that, that means that person is not evolved that much. I'm not talking from the criticizing point of view. I'm talking from the evolution point of view. If a person is much interested towards that, that means he needs to evolve. His consciousness, that means he is a newborn. His soul is a new entity came into existence. In Kriya Yoga, it is said that soul, Atma, will take different evolutions. Then it will come as a human. And as a human, it will take lot of years and years to evolve as a spiritual being. Got it now? So at the very beginning, they will be interested towards food, sleep, and reproduction. That means they are just came as humans.
Comes to the another state. It's sit in one state. So
From being an animal, they came as a human. That is why they are much interested towards that. Right? And their consciousness work between the Kundalini, I mean, the Muladhara Chakra and Swadhisthana. A person who is working, their intellect, their buddhi is working high. That means their consciousness is crossed or touching the Anahat Chakra. That means they are in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And those people will talk a lot about spirituality. Those are the people who see in that Vijnanamaya Kosha, there is a layers. A person who is, there is a transition point. That transition point is given a name as Vijnanamaya Kosha. From Vijnanamaya Kosha to the Anandamaya Kosha, there are layers. And that makes the difference.
Okay, Anna, when you are stating this Vijnanamaya, just I'm recollecting the Lalita Sahasranama, there is a translate. First it is coming Brahma Granthi Vivedini, Vishnu Granthi Vivedini, then Rutra Granthi Vivedini.
The last one.
Like the way it is given the order, right? So sometimes I used to think this thing, where exactly these Granthi there in our body. Can we correlate this with what now you are telling the Vijnanamaya Kosha? Is it in a Kosha or is it in a Chakra? How we can...
See, these are the different expressions of this existence. If I talk about chakra, that is another language. We can talk in koshas also. These are different expressions. See, I can give you that knowledge through koshas. I can give you that knowledge through the chakras. But only the difference is, if you make your consciousness rising from the Muladhara. We have 7 chakras. 6, actually 6, not the 7th. 7th is not there actually. 7th is the infinite one. That's why it is called Sahasra. So we have the 6 starting from Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraha, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Ajna. Okay. These are the crossings of the consciousness. Elevating ourselves. Okay. When we are elevating, fundamentally we are elevating from the Annamaya Kosha to the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So these are different signs, but talking about one truth. No big difference. So when we do the yoga or nam jap, okay, what we are doing, we are elevating our consciousness. When we are elevating consciousness, we will attain certain level of consciousness, which is called Turiya, Samadhi, or to become one with our Guru. That is possible. I'm not giving any, fantasy story. If you want to become one with your Guru, let it be Shirdi Sai or Raghavendra or whoever it is, any Guru, if you have following one Guru, if you want to become one with the Guru, this is the way. Nam jap with thing, or you have to do Kriya Yoga or whatever. But when you reach that stage, you will become one with the Guru. That is why in Yoga Shastra, we have this Nadi. Ida, Pingala, Sushumna Nadis are there. Hope you heard about that. See, when the prana is running through the Ida and Pingala, okay, and it will join. It will join. And again it gets separated and it again join. Wherever it joins, it becomes the chakra. Getting my point? So what is running there? Prana, right? That's why I said, see, it is running through the Nadi. Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi. Nadi is the path of prana to run. See, we have the veins, right? Where the blood runs. There is a subtle path where the prana runs. Ida Pingala.
The nervous system, sympathetic parasympathetic.
Yes. So when we know how to handle this Ida and Pingala will be neutralized and it will run through the Sushumna. When it is run through the Sushumna, it will reach the Ajna Chakra. From there, it is not, after that there is not Sahasra. There are much more chakras are there. We have been told that Ajna Chakra then Sahasra. No. After this, there are much more, actually. For example, from Ajna Chakra, we have the Trikuti. There is, combination of 3 chakras are there. We have to cross that. Once we cross that, then ends the, see, imagine there is a tunnel. You are going through the tunnel. And the tunnel is a Sushumna Nadi. And the Sushumna ends at one point where there is a Brahma Nadi starts. It is also called Guru Nadi. Okay. Where the individual efforts will come to an end. Until that, you will put all your efforts. You will do pranayam, that, this, everything you will put. But all your efforts, the individual efforts, will come to an end at the end of the tunnel of Sushumna. Where the Brahma Nadi or the Guru Nadi starts. Why it is called Guru Nadi? Because your efforts will come to an end and the Guru will take over. Then you will be just like that. There in that consciousness and Guru, we will, roam with our Guru hand in hand. Technically, Shirdi Sai is there in that level of consciousness. He is not in his body now. And he doesn't need a body. Getting my point? Body is, we need. he attains such a consciousness that he doesn't need. I'll give one example. We have trillions of cells in our body. We have trillions and trillions of cells. Imagine you are one cell. You are a one cell. You don't know that you have a lot of cells. Okay. You are thinking that you are one cell. One day you will realize that you are the entire body. Assume that as a samadhi. Getting my point? That one cell suddenly one day realize that that got the buddhi, that I am this full. Now this buddhi is everywhere, na? That buddhi is not with only one cell. Now that buddhi is in all that cells. That is what we call sarvavya. So that cell, that one cell, now gets the status of sarvavyapi. When that cell is existing through all this, and that one cell dies, do we need to care about that?
No. Because it's sarvavyapi. It still exists.
Our intellect, our buddhi becomes everything. Now only one thing is going away.
Yeah.
We don't worry about that. And that state of reality or realization is called Mahasamadhi. Got it?
Yes.
So the yogis in such a stature, they don't worry about their body is getting deteriorated or they become dead. Because they are already everywhere. Getting my point, right?
Yes.
So the death for them is nothing. It is just one cell is going on. Because they are everywhere. The death of one cell is nothing for them. Our Baba is like that. Now Baba's consciousness is everywhere. Now this one cell is trying to get into that. Getting my point? Now we are one cell. Now we want to become that consciousness of that in every cell. That is our guru. That is possible. Got it? If we do certain sadhana, we can become one with our guru. Literally. That is possible. Both guru and shishya, later, the shishya can take a will to become the Parampara. That is a different thing. But if you have a certain vairagya, you can become one with your guru, you can exist with your guru, and you can serve the humanity. With body or without body. That is possible. But that is only possible only through your guru. By understanding you. Not doing the sadhana. Sadhana, yeah, it will help. But if you understand your guru, then if you do the sadhana, then it will be complete. That is why I always keep saying that, understand guru. For us, it is Sadguru Sai. If we understand him, just by understanding his life. If we understand his life, we can understand what we are. Why? Because, see, now we have Dwarkamai and Samadhi Mandir. This is the best classical way to learning. If you want to become a pakka disciple or a follower of Shirdi Sai Baba, we have to understand Samadhi Mandir and Dwarkamai. In Samadhi Mandir, Baba is adorned with all the jewels. But what kind of life he lived in Dwarkamai? With simple kafni. Nothing was there, right? But what we are doing for him in the Samadhi Mandir, we are placing the crown, we are putting all that, and we are focused towards that. Shift your focus from Samadhi Mandir to Dwarkamai. Simple. And you are the most wisest and rich people if you do that. Fakirs are not poor people. They are the richest. Because they know how to live. But we are suffering because we are looking at the Samadhi. Getting my point? So to learn that's why I spend much of my time in only Dwarkamai. I won't go there because I am not able to fix myself there. If you go to Samadhi Mandir, what you will see only is people running behind money. If you enter the premises of Samadhi Mandir, from the security to all the people, I'm saying this openly because I don't care.
He never lived in Samadhi.
He never did. He was a very always told my thing is only one thing pot, one coffee, and that's all, one sack. That's all is enough for me.
Even the people, the security guy, they will come and you want the Mangalsnan water?
Give money. Yeah, give money. Yes.
Give him 100 rupees, 200 rupees. Right? It is happening. It is happening. And one sister, she is from Bangalore. She bribed a security to get woodlots from neem tree. We don't know whether he cut it out. He said that bark, the branch fell down. That is why. We don't know, na. She paid 25,000.
Oh my God.
Now what will happen? Now they know. 25,000. Let me cut. One day there will be no neem tree.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they start cutting exactly. Right?
This happened everywhere, man.
Exactly.
In Pioneer, what happened? To Lord Kartikeya, they started scratching the leg of Kartikeya because they know it is made of herbs. Kartikeya become handicapped there. Right? That is what our thing is. So, we should.
Personal become very active. They will start working on the right road.
Yeah. So, we have to know our Guru, the way he lived. Then only, to become a Shirdi Sai disciple, I'm not talking about any other. If you want to become a follower of Sadguru Sai, we have to understand the way he lived.
Yes. Yes.
This one.
Like,
So we have to understand how the way he lived. But it is there in Satcharitra. It is very well written in Satcharitra, very well documented in Satcharitra. All we have to do, we have to sense to understand them. We should not get involved in the fabricated stories. That's what I'm saying. The fabricated stories are combined with a lot of rituals, this. Baba is not a ritual man. Baba is a very simple man. He taught very simple things. That is why in chapter 32, I think so, he said, my Guru never blowed any mantra into me. When a lady came and said, she was pestering Baba that, teach me this. Baba said, no, my Guru never taught me that. But he attained such a stature of spirituality, in spirituality. Because in chapter 32, Baba said that I am now like this because of my Guru. He was praising his Guru like anything. Right? That is why now, see, here I want to tell that it is our duty to know our Baba's Guru.
that's why you wrote that.
That is a gratitude. It is an expression of gratitude that because there are people who said that why there is a need for this. We should not, investigate the Rishimul, Natimul.
Right.
But that is not applicable for everyone. We have to learn because that is an expression of gratitude. Because that Paramaguru, Venkusa, gave us Baba. That means, we have to understand what kind of a Guru he is. Right? And what is the real name of Venkusa?
Shah something.
Anyone know?
Roshan.
Roshan Shah Miyan. That is his real name, actually. He got another name as Venkusa because he was following both the traditions,
Of
Nath Sampradaya and Sufi Sampradaya. In Uttar Karnataka and southern Maharashtra, there is one famous saint. His name is actually Shah Muttasa Bamani. That is his name. When I came to know about that saint, I was searching for him. The northern Karnataka, everywhere I was searching for Shah Muttasa Bamani. But I was not getting anything, any clue. Later I got his another name. He is called Mrityunjay. That was his given name, Mrityunjay. When I started following the name Mrityunjaya, I started getting a lot of information. He was following the Anand sect of Shiva tradition. And he is a Sufi. His name is Shah Muttasa Bamani. He is also...
Shia or Sunni?
Sorry?
Yes, Shia or Sunni.
He doesn't belong to anything. See, technically we can say Sunni. Because all the Muslims are Sunni. Should be Sunni. Because Sunni means, those who follow what Prophet guided. That is Sunnah. The one who is following the Sunnah is Sunni. So everyone should be, actually. It is there, no Shia, not like that. Everyone should be a Sunni. We can also be a Sunni. Because we have to understand Prophet also. Yeah, they lived a life. Because we carry the religious politics in our head. No? We are missing out the wisdom, what they have guided. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. See, with this I will finish this thing. About Prophet Muhammad. When he was walking in the streets of Mecca, there was one lady. She will throw the garbage on him. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
She used to throw garbage on him. Okay. One day she was not there. So he knocked the door of that lady and she was afraid. She was not doing well. She opened the door and afraid that Prophet is there. What he is going to do. Very powerful man there. But he asked, are you doing well? Are you okay? Today you are not there to throw the garbage. So that is the level of compassion. And there is another incident where one guy, they created a mosque to worship, right? There another guy who is not a Muslim, he came and started urinating. So the followers of Prophet, they were angry. They are about to stop him. Prophet said, wait, let him finish his job. So how beautiful, right? That is the highest compassion. So that compassion is delivered through many Guru Paramparas. From Prophet, through Prophet, it came down to India through Sufis, through Moinuddin Chishti, Nizamuddin Awliya, Zarzari Baksh. From Zarzari Baksh, it came down to Kuldabad. Why I'm listing this order? You know why? From Prophet Muhammad, then after some 700 years came Moinuddin Chishti of Ajmer and his grand disciple Nizamuddin Awliya of Delhi. And his disciple Zarzari Baksh came to Kuldabad, which is 150 kilometers from Shirdi. Why I am talking about this lineage? Because when Zarzari Baksh came to Kuldabad, lot of Nath Sampradaya Yogis were there in that place. Friction should happen, no? No. They started exchanging.
Yes. Yes.
The Nath Yogis started learning music and singing from the Sufis because they are very good in that. And that Sufis started learning yogas from the Nath Yogis. They started coexisting. And it came to such a beautiful way that after some 300 years, after the Zarzari Baksh, a new lineage started emerging from that and Nath Yogis will have a Sufi as their guru, or Sufis will have Nath Yogi as a guru. And from that came Chansha, Bodle and all that lineage I listed in my book. And Baba belongs to that lineage. That is why he looks both. Many people know he is a Muslim or Islam, a Muslim. He doesn't belong to anything. Because he is a realized one. For a realized being, there is no religion, caste. That's why we have to learn everything. That is good, na? So it is good to learn our Guru. If we learn our Guru, we are rescued. And that's what Baba did. Got it? Any questions?
Can you give me your references of your books?
Sorry?
Your references of your books.
No.
He wants the book reference.
Oh, book. Okay, I'll give you WhatsApp. And now I have only the soft copy.
Okay.
The printed sold out, actually.
Okay. Oh.
Actually, I wrote volume 1. Volume 2 is the real deal. Volume 1, where I introduced Baba's Guru Parampara. The Guru Parampara that significantly contributed to Baba's Guru Parampara.
Okay.
So, in my volume 1,
Printed version is not available.
what?
Fully sold out. Printed version is
Printed version is not available.
Not available, as of now.
Okay.
I'm in the process of making the regional language. It is the volume 1, first edition is in English.
Okay.
And some brothers and sisters, they are working on in Telugu, Kannada, and other languages. I don't know when it will come. It will come. Yeah. Swetaji, she completed the Marathi version.
Okay.
So it is there. So once everything is completed, then we are planning to publish that. That needs a lot of other things to do that. But the actual thing is volume 2. Volume 2 is all about Baba and his Guru.
Okay.
Because we have to know Baba through his Guru.
Right.
Getting my point, right?
Right.
We have to understand our Guru through his Guru, our Parama Guru. Then only we will understand the significance of this. And we constructed our tradition on that gratitude. That is what we have the Guru Vandanam. No? There are many Guru Vandanam. According to the Advaita Sampradaya, the Guru Vandanam where we will have the Shankara in the middle.
Oh.
And we have Shiva at the beginning as the Adi Guru. Then the following, who are the successor will be placed on the next. That is the Guru Vandanam actually. So that means fundamentally in our tradition, we should know our Gurus, the Guru Parampara. But somewhere we introduced this Rishi Moolam, Nati Moolam, and we spoiled it. It is not like that. We have to know the Guru Parampara. Otherwise, that will get cut and we will lose that wisdom. So I will share that volume 1, the soft copy. It is in Amazon Kindle version.
Okay.
Volume 2 will take time because I have to do a lot of research. I am done only. See, I thought I finished 2/3, but my recent finding shows that I had not even crossed 10%.
Oh.
I was thinking proud that, I finished 2/3. Okay, only 1/3 I will finish in 3-4 months. A recent thing gave me a nice slap that I crossed only 10%. 90% is still there because the spiritual stature of Baba took Vishwarup in front of me. That shows that, I didn't understand him properly. See, for example, I told you, right? I don't know to whom I was talking about. I was talking about Mahatar Babaji. To you, right? In the morning. Mahatar Babaji is also called Miyanji Baba in Sufi community. Hope you guys know about Mahatar Babaji, right? Mahatar Babaji, you don't know, right? You know Yukteswar Maharaj, Yogananda. Kriya Yoga, you know, right? Kriya Yoga was founded by these gurus, Mahatar Babaji and the fellows, right? Mahatar Babaji, see, that is one Rajinikanth movie.
Yes.
Rajinikanth, you know, right? Okay.
There is a movie, Baba, likewise one movie.
Baba movie and that is based on the Mahadhuni.
Mahadhuni. He prayed on photo and on some symbol. That is this.
Yes. It is said that he was living for 2000 years. Okay, that's a story. But I'm talking about that Guru, Mahatar Babaji. He only passed on the knowledge of Kriya Yoga to his disciples, Lahiri Mahasaya, Yukteswar Maharaj, then came Yogananda. See, then Americans know Yogananda very well because their school are there. Yeah. So why I'm saying this? Because my recent research got expanded into new branches where Mahatar Babaji is also connected with our Baba. That's what I'm saying.
That's why you get your shock and you're still.
So now I have to cover the entire geography of India. It is going to Haridwar, Kedarnath, Badrinath, everywhere. Then I came to know that the yogis from Himalayas used to visit our Baba.
This is all not mentioned anywhere in Sai Satcharitra.
Yeah, it is. See, Satcharitra, we have to have the gratitude towards Sri Hemant Pant because at least, we came to know about that. Baba is not worried about that. But at least we should have that gratitude. See, Baba's history is not limited to Satcharitra. That's what I'm trying to say. We should have a gratitude because of Sri Hemant Pantji. We know at least this.
Anna, we really would like to know more about the yogi, how Mahavatar Babaji connected with our Baba and who are all the other yogis visited. And
Is Baba's name mentioned anywhere in the autobiography of Yogi? In that book?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, we have a lot of traditions, lot of politics. When there is an organization, politics will be there.
On that I have read that book, but I don't remember how our Baba came into.
I don't know. But do you know Sriyam? Sriyam, likewise, one
Yeah,
person is there.
but we have to be careful on.
Yeah. That I know, that I understood. I understood. Some of his work he mentioned about something, but I couldn't able to relate it completely. That is why I am asking you.
Okay.
I am really interested to know.
See, our Baba, as I told you, he is also a Jagat Guru. And technically, I explained how he is Jagadguru. Okay. So in Sufi community, they have this hierarchy called Nizam. Okay. In that, the top of that is called Qutub al-Aktab. Okay. Next to the Qutub al-Aktab, there is another position. It's called Qutub al-Abdal. Abdal. Okay. Abdul. You can say that. They call it Abdal. Qutub al-Abdal. That is the second position. Next to that, Qutub al-Akdab. So when the Qutub al-Akdab takes samadhi physically, this Qutub al-Abdal will become
The upper one.
the hierarchy. Will get promoted to the hierarchy. Mahavatar Babaji was a Qutub al-Akdab of his period.
Okay.
And our Baba was Qutub al-Akdab during his period. And there is another Qutub al-Akdab still living.
Oh.
Getting my point? Because they are given a timeline of 100 years, average human life, 80 years or 70 years, whatever. Until that, they will be the Qutub al-Akdab. When they passed away, the next one take. So this hierarchy is still going on, where this Mahavatar Babaji was Qutub al-Akdab during his time, long back, and still he is guiding, like our Baba. And they are connected in the spiritual kingdom. Now I am talking all this. That kingdom is called in Sufi. Okay. Misali Jisim. They gave the name. It will be strange for us.
It's
What?
like our Varnashramam in Hindu.
No, not like that. See, this is a realm, a totally different realm, in the realm of consciousness. I was talking about the Brahmanadi and Gurunadi, the Sushumna and Gurunadi, right? It's a level of consciousness. In that level of consciousness, there is a realm called Misali Jism in Sufi beliefs. In Misali Jism, all these gurus are there, still living.
Oh, now I got it. I mentioned one of the book, tomorrow when you are coming, I will show that book. In that book, it's mentioned Mahavatar Babaji, who is the one took our Sai Baba to this, some word it's mentioned. I couldn't able to understand that, but now
I will come to that. I will connect. So there is a realm, spiritual realm, where all the gurus are still exist in the form of light. That is the actual Mahadhuni. Every guru has a Dhuni. When they are in that realm, that is the Mahadhuni. Getting my point?
got it.
In that state of realm, all these gurus are existing in form of light.
What is that place name? Call it as?
In Sufi, it is called Misali Jism.
Like something word is there, because I can relate this word is there in one of the Lalita Sahasranama.
Yes.
But now I forgot.
You please come out with that because it's very, very important for me also. Yeah. No, because see, it is all already coded in Lalita Sahasranamam, in Gayatri Mantra. See, if you take Gayatri Mantra, do we know what is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra? Many of us doing Gayatri Mantra because we are thinking that we are worshipping sun. Sun as a metaphor.
Sun is metaphor.
It is the light that we have to
Worship.
It's not worship, we have to understand. The light here is the jnana as a metaphor. And when we attain that state of jnana, our body will become light, in the form of light, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Okay, so that is where now how they are connected. See, when they leave their body, they are all connected in the spiritual realm as a Dhuni. That is why Dhuni is very, very important. Okay, it's a metaphor. Okay, where Mahavatar Babaji and our Baba exist as one. Okay, and as one. But in the Nizam, what the legacy they left, okay, there he got his followers, Mahavatar Babaji. Now we have our followers, like our Baba's followers. Okay, like that, Mahathir Babaji left his legacy with the Kriya Yoga school and everything. And the followers are there. But there are the yogis who are still living in Himalayas during Baba's time, and they know this connection. They used to visit Baba.
Also they're there, Yogis.
Yes. They used to visit Baba because they know Baba is the Kutupalakta.
You told right now there is one living.
Yeah.
But that is a
See,
where
I can share one information, maybe two information, which I have been permitted to share, which I shared with our brother also with yesterday. That the current one is living in Malaysia and he is working in a rubber plantation.
How does
That
he get
humble.
identified?
Huh?
How does he get identified? How do you?
See, only people who are in this can understand, know this. See, I have been told this, but I have been given certain knowledge to realize the certain things. And when I was staying in Kadapa last time, when I met the Sufi Baba there in the Andhra Pradesh, there I went through certain experience, including Mahathir Babaji. That's what I mean to say, because they belong to that lineage. The Sufi, they belong to Mahathir Babaji's lineage. They call him Mahathir Babaji as Miyanji Baba.
Excellent.
Huh?
Now I can correlate the many things.
So this is a big connecting dots actually, and that is where I got that blessings. And he only said that.
This person really helping me. That's for past few weeks. I keep on asking question myself why I'm praying first Raghavendra, then Sai Baba. Now why I am all of a sudden interested into YSS, why I want to learn the Kriya Yoga, why it's this much interest is coming. So much question. Am I going into the which direction? Am I something very wrong between me?
One lady was a devotee of Raghavendra Swami, then she suddenly when she had a doubt, will Raghavendra Swami get angry with me? Because Sai Baba is somewhat into Muslim fakir. So what will happen if Raghavendra Swami gets angry?
So now
If I go to Raghavendra Swami, Baba will get up.
Anna didn't come to Bangalore. Today, actually my program to go to the YSS today morning. This was my plan last week.
YSF.
YSS just to go and explore the thing. Okay. Now I understand Baba that already I am sending you, no need to go.
So Baba does whichever guru you go is like your father, and there you can see.
Yeah, you can get
See,
all from my.
In YSF, they are teaching Kriya Yoga. And our Baba gave that in a very simple way.
Simple. Now I got.
If you go to YSF, see, I'm not criticizing, I'm saying there is a way of teaching. See, if you go to the Yogata Satsang, that is the YSF,
Yes.
Yogata Satsang Foundation, where if you go, they have their own process of teaching. They have their sets. But if you come to our Baba,
But the correlation, I mean, so here also ultimate, our Baba is the follower of the Mahabharata. So there is a correlation now I can get. So it's not something going wrong completely out of the.
yeah. So Baba, refined it and gave us a very simple way to the Nam Jap.
Yeah,
That we can do. Very simple.
Yeah.
Nothing to complicate, nothing. No big restrictions, no terms and conditions, nothing like that. We can learn, what I learned from many gurus and from our Baba, which I can share with you people, but only on a restricted level.
Yeah.
Because, there are certain things which I cannot teach. Based on your progress, based on your, I can say attainment of certain levels, then, okay, then you can call and say, okay. Then I will say, okay, really they got it. Because, my experience is such that if I teach them or give them a knowledge, either, they are using it in a wrong way. Otherwise, it's become waste. All our efforts are also getting wasted. Initially, they will show all the interest for some reason. Once they learn, either they will go into off track of doing certain nonsense, because when we are doing this yoga, at one point of time, the basic survival instincts will be rekindled. That we have to witness and go through. Once we succeed that, the next level is waiting for us. No, we are gone. We will become the prey to that. Right? So, see, I also, have my own evolution of teaching. So, at the very beginning, with all that excitement and enthusiasm, I started giving this knowledge to everyone. Then I saw people, they are using it in a wrong way or getting wasted. Then I reached a maturity state where I have to teach only. Then only I came to know such a thing is already there in our system, that this knowledge should not be given to people just like that. So what we can share, that can help you to reach certain level, which I, classified into 4 stages. So stage 1 and 2 I can teach. 3rd and 4th, based on 1 and 2, how you do the sadhana. Then the 3rd and 4th, or phone also I can, simple tweaking in what you do, or phone or WhatsApp also do this, over. But that's a formula that can be shared only based on how you guys are progressing. Got it, no? Any question on this? So regarding the book, I will share.
Yeah.
Sir. Okay, later I will share. Volume 2 is the real deal. That will take time, maybe a year.
So volume 1 is in the soft copy now.
Yes, volume 1 is in the soft copy. It is all about the Guru Parampara that significantly contributed to Baba's Guru Parampara.
Okay.
That way. So it involves both the Sufi and Nath Sampradaya. So that is why I started from the Sufi sides. It started from Prophet Muhammad, and then the certain gurus, Nizamuddin Auliya, Moinuddin Chishti, Nizamuddin Auliya, Lendi Bagh. Then I stopped there and I started from the Nath Sampradaya, starting from Guru Dattatreya. From Guru Dattatreya, then other gurus of the Nath Sampradaya, Machendranath, Gorakshnath, all the Nath Bagheras, that. Because Baba belonged to both Sampradaya. If you want to understand Baba's practices, then you have to understand this. Then you can easily understand Baba. See, for example, Baba talks about the spiritual treasure, right? In chapter 32, it is there, right? My Sarkar got a lot of treasure. I'm asking.
The person is ready to take it or not.
That is a saying in Sufi Sampradaya.
Okay.
It is not Baba said. Baba used that as a metaphor because that he learned from the Sufi Sampradaya. Got it, no?
Right.
And another important thing, we all know that Baba's Guru Venkusa made Baba hung upside down in the well. Right? Okay, many people say that as a metaphor. It never happened. It is a metaphor that Baba gave us like that. But actually it happened. It happened, and Baba's Guru Venkusa or Roshan Shah Miya, alias Roshan Shah Miya, made Baba hung upside down inside a well because it is a practice of Sufis. Chilla-i-Makusha. Chilla-i-Makusha. That is the name of that practice. That is inverted. Chilla means yoga. Isolate yourself to yoga. Makusha means inverted yoga. Hanging. There are many ways of hanging to attain certain spiritual level. Inside the well, you are almost near to the death. Just 3 feet above the water. Right? And hanging all the hours. Which has been reintroduced. This practice reintroduced by Baba Fariduddin Ganchakar. He is the disciple of Moinuddin Chishti. Grand disciple of Moinuddin Chishti. Moinuddin Chishti's disciple, Bhaktiar, Muhammad Bhaktiar, his disciple, Baba Fariduddin Ganchakar, and his disciple is Nizamuddin Auliya, and his disciple is Lendi Bagh, who came down to Kuldabad Shirdi. And that is how that wisdom has been passed down, where that hanging upside the well is a Sufi practice. Chelai Makusha. And in Nath Sampradaya also it is there. In Hindu tradition also, we have that inverted yoga. You can see certain yogis will be hanging from the tree like a owl, right? I mean, like an owl. Sorry, bat. It is there because there are certain level of manipulation of consciousness will happen. When we experience near death, actually we will get enlightened. Yeah, if we volunteer ourselves into that, we will get certain experience. That will give certain level of trance where we will get spiritually enhanced. That will lead us towards enlightenment. And that's they did as a inverted yoga. So these are the things, But we, see that as a metaphor. We left it. We are losing a wisdom there, right? Because, for two things. One is we are very lazy about knowing things. We are not care about that. And another thing is politics. Because, Sufi is a Muslim thing.
Yeah.
Why we should know that? Baba is a saffron guy. So that is the issue.
Many Muslims also don't come to Shirdi actually. Previously maybe they were coming, but now very less.
Very less.
Full Hindus only. It's completely
That is why
Trees are fully Hindu. Everything is Hindu only everywhere.
in the group I posted long back, like a 24th December, I think so. I posted this in our group that when I met Wasim Tamboli, remember? Outside Dwarka.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember partially. Yes.
When I met that guy was a long beard, pakka, no mustache. Only the beard was there. A typical identity of a Muslim guy. Wearing that skull cap and long kurta. So my friend introduced him. This is Wasim Tamboli. He came to take darshan of Baba. Muslim guy, like that. On that only, I came to know many things, actually. And I asked that guru, that guy, do you know who is Baba's guru? Like that. Because everyone will ask that. Because I was in search of that. No? So when I asked that, he said, Waris Alisha.
Waris Alisha from Lucknow.
Yes.
Yes. You visited Lucknow, na?
Yes,
That
yes.
Crawford bag and all that.
Yes, exactly. See how it got connected. No? Very beautiful, right? And when I went to Kadapa to meet that Sufi Baba, he was talking about Waris Alisha.
Oh, he was so
Because, see, I am in search of Baba's guru. When I was requesting that in Baba's Dwarka, when I came out, I met Wasim Tamboli, and he, guided me to go to Kadapa, where I met the Sufi Baba. From him, I learned many things. But one of the things is, how Waris Alisha in Baba's life. See how the guidance is coming. That is why our guru is very, very, very lively. Okay. Are we?
Yeah.
You want lunch is ready.
Huh?
Lunch is ready. You want to
Oh,
eat?
after lunch we can continue. I want to teach them certain things. After the lunch. Okay? We'll have some food and we'll continue.
And you're coming, right? For food.
What, ma?
You're also coming for
Yes. I'm also hungry. I'm also hungry.
Yeah, most hungry person because last 2 hours you are continuously eating.
My food is that.
Please.
Talking about guru is always.
The friend near the gate and in the conference.
आपको